just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family, everything that's to protect your future.
They make insurance simple.
If you jump into a race and
you just run with it illegally,
it's called being a bandit.
The Charge Bandit is the first run.
We have the armor vent in the forefoot with the charge opening. We've done stability.
This shoe provides a light stability platform.
Away, right?
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most,
19.
A lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about two wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, our veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger...
Well, we're all set for Game 2 here in this doubleheader between the Post 22 Hardhats and the visiting Cheyenne Post 6 Baseball Club. Post 22 took a 10-4 win in 6.5 innings of regulation in Game 1, and they are set to get right back to work here for Game 2. And we thank you so much for sticking around with us for the rest of our festivities today. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action in the remainder of this doubleheader. So once again, Cheyenne Post 6 will bat in the top halves of the innings. They are set to take the batter's box. Braxton Innes once again is leading off and playing center field, followed by Carter Mossey in left field, and Lincoln Trujillo playing at third base. So 1 through 3 that the Hardhats will face right now has remained unchanged. Defensive alignment for the Hardhats. Cody Carlson will get the start, and Carlson comes in to this game, his first start of the season. A 3 ERA right across the board, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. He has Timmy Paris as his battery mate. At first, it's Matt Vickers. Second, Matt Hegry playing in his second game in a Hardhats uniform. Shortstop, Cooper Bowman, and in the hot corner at third, it's Justin Kramer. Left to right in the outfield, it's Alex Weaver, Zach Solano, and Cam Fees. So most of the infield to start off this game has remained unchanged. Innes, Mossey, and Trujillo due up in this inning. Sean Carson, the DH, batting in the cleanup spot again. Ryan Andren, the shortstop, batting fifth. Jackson Ayala, the first baseman, batting sixth. Brandon Todd's out in right field. He's batting seventh. Trey Fleming is now catching. He's batting eighth. And Ryan Monaco is now in the lineup. He is batting ninth, playing second base. Carlson's first pitch to Braxton Innes is fouled right in front of the Hardhats dugout. So he starts off with an 0-1 count. Braxton Innes in the last game went 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a walk. Carlson right back to it, 0-1. Just missed low and inside. A ball and a strike now evens things up. So here comes Carlson now, looking for his first win and his first start. He throws one low and away for ball 2. 2-1 now the count here to Innes.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 right now on save opportunities on the season. Only allowed 3 runs and only allowed 3 hits so far this season. He's very hard to hit with a 130 batting average against him.
2-1 skips away from Paris, low and away. So ball 3 now dealt to Braxton Innes. Carter Mossey, the left fielder, is on deck. Most of the same lineup here for Cheyenne Post 6. Carlson trying to battle back. Here's a 3-1. Swung on and chopped right up the middle. Carlson can't make the grab. Bowman stops in, throw to first, not in time. What an unbelievable effort by Cooper Bowman. That was almost Jeterian, if you will. But Braxton Innes gets the infield single. He is on base. And that brings up Carter Mossey with nobody out here at the top of the first.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play. He might have had him at first if Cody didn't get that tip off his glove, but it was still a heck of a play. And you get that ground ball out, and that's what Cody Carlson, that's what makes him so effective, is the fact that he gets so many ground ball outs. 64% of his outs are ground ball outs, and that's what you like to see.
Showing bunt and pushing it foul was Carter Mossey. No balls and a strike the count. Mossey in the last game went 0 for 3 with an RBI ground out and a walk. He tried pushing down the bunt earlier. He fouled it off a couple of times and then just kind of abandoned it. Not really too many bunt scenarios for Cheyenne Post 6, but they've got one right now. Mossey's been showing bunt to Carlson. He checks over at first for Innes, and time is called. Cody Carlson goes right back to it. From the stretch now. Bunt is showed. Bunt is laid down. First base side. It's in. Kramer, the scoop throw to first is just barely in time. Kramer's throw threw Vickers off the bag, but he came right back down and landed on it. So the sacrifice executed. Justin Kramer came all the way in from third. One down and a man in scoring position now for Cheyenne Post 6. That's going to bring up Lincoln Trujillo.
Yeah, I was close there. A nice job there by Vickers to get up and get that pitch there. Kind of elevated throw there from Kramer at third, but still, if they're going to give you that free out, yes, it's a sacrifice, runner in scoring position now, but if they're going to give you that out, throw a strike, get the ball down, execute the play, let the sacrifice work, and then come back and, especially with the pitcher like Cody Carlson who gets so many outs at the plate, come back and attack the next hitter.
Lakin Trujillo's now up. He was 1 for 4 last game with an RBI single, and that came, coincidentally enough, in the top of the first inning of the last game. He has Innes on second in scoring position, and Carlson's first pitch to him's up high for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Trujillo. Sean Carson, the DH, is on deck. And Carson in the last game went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Next pitch from Carlson rides up high. 2 balls, no strikes the count. And again, Carlson still looking for his first win. This is his first start and 5th appearance of the season. 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. Next pitch, that one's in there for strike 1. 2-1 now the count from Carlson to Trujillo.
Cody Carlson has yet to give up a hit this season when throwing a first pitch strike, so look for that to be one of the key factors here in today's ball game.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 2 from Trujillo. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Carlson looking for punch out number 1 on the night, and it would be a big out at the plate here. Top of the first, man in scoring position, 1 out, no score. Next pitch is swung on and chopped right to Carlson. He makes the fielding play, throw to first in time. It advances the runner. So now Braxton Innes, the center fielder, is all the way on third, 90 feet away from scoring. 2 down, and that man in scoring position, 90 feet away from home, and that's going to bring up the DH, Sean Carson.
Yeah, nice job there. We're seeing a lot of plays made by the pitchers tonight for this Hard Hat club, so a nice job there by Cody Carlson, planting his feet, and a good strong throw over to Vickers at first base.
First pitch from Carlson, swung on and missed. No balls and a strike the count to Carson. Sean Carson, the DH, as I said, went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. He grounded into a 5 unassisted 3 double play and then grounded out to the infield twice. Next pitch is another swing and a miss, strike 2. And quickly he is behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
That's another thing that makes Cody Carlson so effective. He gets so much swing and miss. He leads the team with swing and miss percentage with 16.7.
0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's going to do it. Teddy brought it up perfectly. I could not have executed that to a T if I was in Teddy's situation. That was absolutely perfect. K number 1 for Cody Carlson, and that ends the threat in the top of the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left 90 feet away from home. And at the end of a half inning, we still have no score, and your Post 22 Hardhats coming to bat. Due up, Justin Kramer, Cooper Bowman, and Zach Salato at the top of the batting order for the Hardhats here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is brought to you by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center. Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. And it's coming to you all from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. We now go to the bottom half of the first inning. Your Hardhats batting order real quickly. Leading off is Justin Kramer playing defensively at third. Cooper Bowman batting second, playing at shortstop. Zach Solano batting third, playing in center field. And in the cleanup spot is Matt Vickers, now full-time for this game at first base. Batting fifth is Eric Petrie, the designated hitter. Batting sixth is number 21, Timmy Parrish, the catcher. Seventh is Alex Weaver, Teddy's reigning MVP in the broadcast booth, playing in left field. Batting eighth is number 20, Cam Fees, out in right field. And batting ninth is number 11, Matt Hegre, the second baseman. They will face Grant Storbo, the starting pitcher for Cheyenne Post 6 here for Game 2. His battery mate is Trey Fleming, who moved from right field from last game to behind the plate to backstop. At first is Jackson Ayala. At second is Ryan Monaco. At shortstop, Ryan Andren, and in the hot corner at third, it's Lincoln Trujillo. Left to right in the outfield, it's Carter Mossy, Braxton Innes, and Brandon Todd. So a couple of new faces defensively to this lineup as well. Here comes Kramer, 0 for 4 in the last game, looking for his first hit of the day. And the first pitch that he sees rides inside for ball 1.
Yeah, he saw his batting average drop to a 281 now on the season. Still respectable, but he was on such a hot streak. You want to see him continue that hot streak and bust out of that 0 for 4 and really start going today.
First pitch is lined right to Trujillo, and he makes the catch. L5 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. And here comes the red-hot Cooper Bowman, who went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and a stolen base in Game 1.
That's tough. Kramer, even last game, he's hit the ball well, but he's just hit it right to a couple of these players. And he's going to be getting his own here soon. But look for Cooper Bowman here to try to get something started early in this game.
First pitch buzzed the tower up high. Ball and no strikes the count to Cooper Bowman. He and Zach Solano just had a field day in the 2 and 3 spots, and I think you're onto something here, Teddy, because you made the point last game that we think Cooper Bowman's found a home here in the 2-hole.
Yeah, it's definitely worked, and he's batting well for it. He gets on base a lot, doesn't strike out, makes good contact, and he's an RBI in the waiting for these hitters behind him in the lineup.
The 1-0 is in there for strike 1 inside, so a ball and a strike now the count from Grant Storbo, the starting pitcher for Cheyenne Post 6 to Bowman. Quickly back to it, 1-1, swung on and missed. Ball and 2 strikes now the count from Storbo to Bowman, excuse me.
And Storbo early on in this game, he doesn't look like he has a whole lot of velocity coming down, nothing that's going to overpower you, but his pitches are dancing in the zone. He's getting a lot of swing and misses, and it looks like it's moving pretty well.
1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. That's strikeout number 1 for Storbo, and that's going to bring up Zach Solano, who, again, he also had a field day in Game 1. 2 for 3, 2 runs, an RBI, a walk, and a stolen base.
And that's only the second strikeout on the season now in 13 games played for Coop Bowman. He doesn't strike out very often, get cheated in the batter's box.
Zach Solano looks at strike 1 on a breaking ball inside from Storbo, so 0-1 is his starting count. Matt Vickers is on deck should Solano safely get on the base path. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first and no score between post 6 and post 22. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled directly behind home plate. And now Solano is behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Zach Solano 2 for 3 in the last game. Two games ago went 4 for 6 with 4 home runs. We're going to be talking about that one for a while.
I think we're going to be talking about that for the rest of the season.
0-2, rides upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes the count. I completely agree. It could be the most random scenario. We're still going to bring up he went 4 for 6 with 4 homers. We're never going to see that again.
It's only happened 16 times in the 100-plus years of the MLB being in existence.
1-2 is popped up, foul. And it goes behind home plate and almost disrupted a flock of people, if you will. And the ball is thrown back out onto the field. So ball and 2 strikes. Solano still stays alive here in this at-bat.
I guess they didn't want to collect their quarter there at the grandstands.
25 cents or bust, I guess, you know. Guess they went with a bust option. Ball and 2 strikes now the count from Storbo. He's trying to end this inning with K number 2. Zach Solano's trying to perpetuate it with the first Hardhats hit of the ball game. And it looks like we have time called here as Fleming is going to go to Storbo on the mound, and they'll have a little chit-chat.
And with Solano in that last game, reaching base 3 out of the 4 times, he sees his on-base percentage go up to a whopping 500 even on the season, and he leads in OPS, on-base plus slugging percentage with a 1543 in this season. That's just unheard of. We talked about him starting on a hot streak, and he's continuing so far in Game 1.
1-2 to Solano's upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Matt Vickers again is on deck. He went 1 for 4 with a double. He was 0 for 3 up to that point, and then he doubled in his last at-bat of the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Storbo deals, swung on and hit in the air to left center field. Innes is tracking underneath it into shallow left center, and he makes the catch, and that will do it. Unfortunately for the Hardhats, it is a 1-2-3 inning, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 1 full inning, the Hardhats and Cheyenne Post 6 are scoreless. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, with the top of the second inning. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Cheyenne Post 6. Ryan Andrin, Jackson Ayala, and Brandon Todd. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America. Well, that was a pretty quick first inning of work for both clubs. Not a single run scored, and last game we had 6. I think there is an interesting observation to be made about pitch count. What do you got, Teddy?
Yeah, it's just low. Cody only needed 15 pitches to get out of that inning, and then you come in for Cheyenne and only needed 12 to get out of that inning. So both pitchers very effective so far in this game.
Cody Carlson comes back to it for the Hardhats, and his first pitch to Ryan Andren is fouled off. 0-1 is Andren's starting count. Andren's now batting in the 5-hole in this game. He was a little lower on the order last time, and he fouls off his second pitch directly behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes his count. Andren in the last game went 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out and a walk. Here's his 0-2 from Carlson. Up high, check swing. Did he go? I don't believe he did. No, he didn't. Ball and 2 strikes. The biggest pet peeve of Teddy in this broadcast booth is a check swing.
If you're going to swing, swing hard. Come on now.
1-2. Rides up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a valid point to make, though. Valid point.
I should clarify that. If you go around on a check swing,
Yeah.
if you get caught and they call it a strike, if you hold yourself back, okay, I can live with that. But
2-2, caught him looking, strike 3. K number 2 for Cody Carlson. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the second. That's going to bring up Jackson Ayala.
Yeah, and that's the back-to-back strikeouts. Finished the last inning with the strikeout, started this one off with a strikeout, and you know he's looking really good, looking poised to really start taking this game over.
So now here comes Jackson Ayala, the first baseman. His first pitch from Carlson is ripped foul, first base side and into Rapid Creek. No balls and a strike to count. Jackson Ayala in the last game went 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Here's the 0-1 from Carlson. Swung on and chopped right back to him. Carlson with the stop, plant, throw to first in time. 1-3 in the scorebook for the second time in this ballgame, and that's going to bring up Brandon Todd, the right fielder.
A real nice job by this Hardhat clubs, and I think both the Hardhats and Cheyenne Post 6 have come out with their aces, and you can tell early on so far this is going to be a real good game. This is the game everyone expected, and you know I'm kind of glad they saved it for the second one to be under the lights.
First pitch to Todd is fouled, first base side and out of play. No balls and a strike, his count. Todd did not play in the earlier game today, so this is his first action against the Hardhats for the weekend. And he is out in right field defensively for Post 6. 0-1. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 2. And now Cody Carlson is a pitch away from ending the top half of the second and from ringing up his third batter statistically.
And with such a good fastball, he's just going to try and overpower Todd here, maybe get him to fish on something.
0-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3 on that check swing Teddy was talking about, and that is going to do it. 3 Ks for Cody Carlson, 2 come in this inning, and it helps the Hardhats put together a 1-2-3 inning, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of an inning and a half, it is still scoreless between Cheyenne Post 6 and the Post 22 Hardhats. Due up for the Hardhats, 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order, Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car.
Bottom half of the second inning now comes up at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Both Cheyenne Post 6 and the Post 22 Hardhats are scoreless through an inning and a half of play. Prior to the end of the top half of the second inning, Teddy was frantically trying to get my attention because he had a mind-blowing statistic to present. And because you went through all the trouble of, unfortunately, not having me see your signal until I was in the sign-off, what was the statistic?
Well, Cody Carlson is real efficient in these first 2 innings, 24 pitches total, but it only took 9 to get out of those 3 batters in the last inning. So, he's definitely bringing his A game here today, and it's showing here early on.
Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris due up here in the bottom half of the second inning for the Hardhats. Vickers went 1 for 4 with a double last game, and he fouls off his first pitch from Grant Storbo. That gives him an 0-1 count. Matt Vickers in that 1 for 4 count. Eric Petrie did not play in Game 1, so he is the designated hitter for Game 2. Timmy Paris, on the other hand, went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a walk, and an RBI. So a lot of success coming from 4 through 6. Storbo back to it from his windup. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and hit in the left field. Tracking it is Mossy. He's got some wheels on it, and Mossy can't make the catch. It goes off of his glove, and it goes all the way to the furthest corner of the field. Vickers rounds second, goes to third, and then finally gets the stop signal from Coach Messer. So it's a leadoff triple for Matt Vickers. And the Hardhats have their first threatening base runner of the game, 90 feet away from home for the big bat of Eric Petrie.
And that's the first triple of the season here for Matt Vickers and the 9th extra base hit for this young man in now 14 games. And that's tough. Mossy had a good dive. He was moving quick, and I think we're going to get a little training staff over there because I don't know if that ball went off his glove or his body when he dove, but he thought he was in foul territory, but the umpire was calling it fair, and Vickers on his horse doing a nice job getting all the way to third base.
And it looks like, once again, Tia, the trainer for tonight for the Post 22 Hardhats, is going to make her way out to the field. She's getting her airtime's worth here tonight. There's already 3 mentions and not even 2 full games completed. So Tia goes out there to take a look at Carter Mossy. And I think, I could be completely wrong on this, but the way that he went into the ball in left field, it looks like it may have hit his head as he had extended. And I think that's what this big holdup is, because that's a heck of a stinger. That was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, it was high in the air, and it was hung up there right down the line as Vickers was going opposite field, and Mossy looked like he might have over-pursued it just a hair and took it off his person. And it looks like he'll be all right. They just broke out there in the outfield, which is good. You like we talked about last time with Andry and there. You never want to see a player get hurt, and Mossy's out there looking like he'll be all right and be able to continue in this game. And that's a huge break. Leadoff triple though. Let's get back to the ball game and the situation at hand. You still have a runner 90 feet away from breaking this 0-0 tie.
And you have Eric Petrie in the batter's box, primed to send him in. He has a .412 batting average coming into this at bat. He did not play in Game 1 of the doubleheader, so this is his first action of the day. He is fresh. And he's ready to rock and roll as he now looks at Grant Storbo for pitch number 1. Storbo gives a look at Vickers at third. First pitch to Petrie, rides up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. So Petrie across the board. .412 batting average, .565 on base, .529 slugging, and .1095 on base plus slugging. One of the statistical leaders of this club, and he swings and misses at the next pitch to equal things up at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, and we were talking to Coach Messer. He had to unfortunately miss that game in Gillette, but we were talking to him, and he said it might have been a 22-23 for if Petrie was in the lineup for the Hardhats that night.
Storbo comes back with a breaking ball. It freezes Petrie. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. Eric Petrie has Matt Vickers on third and no one out here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2 from Storbo. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. K number 2 for Storbo. First out, though, of the bottom half of the second. That's going to bring up another red-hot bat in Timmy Paris coming into this at-bat with a .452 batting average.
Yeah, and Timmy Paris, his numbers just absolutely say it all. He's one of the leaders on this team. We say that every time, and he's been on such a hot streak, batting .368 with runners in scoring position. He's looking to bring in Vickers with either a sac fly or a base hit.
He fouls off his first pitch. No balls and a strike, the count to Timmy Paris. He had quite the game, not even just a few moments ago in Game 1. 2 for 3, 2 runs, an RBI, and a walk. Here's his 0-1. That misses low on a breaking ball. That'll even things at a ball and a strike. And you mentioned that he'll do anything for this Hardhats club to ensure success, including the sacrifice fly. That play is currently in play, if that's the case.
And the way these two gentlemen are coming out pitching, that could be a difference there because you need to get going.
1-1 hits him, and Timmy Paris is going to take a free stroll to first, so he wears the pitch. Now there are men on the corners with only one out, and that's going to bring up another red-hot bat. I sound repetitive now, but that's Alex Weaver coming up, and he's your reigning MVP in this broadcast booth.
Yeah, he had 3 RBIs last game, and he's looking to get a 4th one right here. And that was the second time Timmy Paris was hit by a pitch, and he's tied for the team lead. And he's tied with Sam Haig, and both of them are catchers. So I guess these opposing pitchers just don't like the opposing catchers very much.
Men on the corners, first pitch to Weaver is in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike, the count to Weaver. Weaver's stat line reads as 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies and 2 runs scored last game. Storbo looks in to Weaver. No balls and a strike is count. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Men on the corners. Storbo deals the 0-1. Swung on and popped foul. First base side out of play. No balls and 2 strikes quickly. The count to Weaver.
And now Weaver appearing in his 6th game. We saw his batting average go up 100 points, now at 267. He did have a big game last game, and he's looking to continue that climb here and give Post 22 the early lead.
Here's the 0-2 to Weaver. Swung on and hit weakly, but foul, first base side. That would have surely scored Matt Vickers had that been a fair ball. However, it is foul, and the count remains no balls, 2 strikes.
Those are always dangerous. Those rollers down there because they got a mind of their own. They weave back and forth and foul and fair, and you got to be careful. But that was a nice job there by Weaver to stay alive. Still have that 0-2 count. Still got to be defensive and really swing at anything close. Try to get the contact with the ball because if you stay out of the double play, you can pretty much score Matt Vickers with any kind of contact here.
Here's the 0-2 to Weaver. Low and away. Ball and 2 strikes. The count. And you're exactly right. Any contact, depending on where it is in the infield and how much of a lead Vickers has, or if it's a sacrifice fly scenario, Weaver just needs to make good contact. Hardhats could have a 1-0 lead. Nothing's the score right now. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Weaver with 1 out, men on the corners. 1-2 rides low, and that'll even the count up at deuces, 2-2. Should a double play not end the inning, because that is also a play that could happen in this scenario. Cam Fees is on deck. And he didn't hit in the last game, but he did get on base by virtue of 2 walks. Came around to score both times. 2-2's low and away, and the pitch gets away from Fleming behind the plate, and Vickers is going to come in to score. Hardhats have a 1-0 lead. Weaver's got a full count, and Timmy Paris advances to second.
And this is a real good at-bat here for Alex Weaver. He's now ran it full, and I know he doesn't get credit for the RBI here, but seeing so many pitches has allowed him to really work his way back into the count, into the driver's seat, and also allow that pass ball to get by. So he still has the opportunity with Timmy Paris at second, but you got to give all the credit for Alex Weaver here, the fact that he's battled back, and this is a very, very quality at-bat for him.
So now Storbo's trying to limit his damage. He still has a man in scoring position and 1 out. Steps off the rubber for a brief bit, and now we go right back to it. Storbo has a payoff pitch coming in the direction of Alex Weaver. 1 out. Here it is. And it hits him. So that is back-to-back hit batters for Grant Storbo on the mound. Alex Weaver takes a spot at first, and now Cam Fees comes up with men on first and second and only 1 out here. In the bottom of the second, Hardhats have a 1-0 lead, and Coach Mester's going to bring Cam Fees aside and share some wisdom in this at-bat.
Yeah, trying to give him a little pep talk to get Timmy in from second. You can always extend your lead, so you definitely want to bring Paris in there from second base. And with Cam Fees, he reached on those 2 walks, like you said, in the first game, but he's coming. He wants to get this hit. He's a very good hitter. He comes in batting .320 on the season, and he's so fast too. So he's always a very good tool to have on the base path. He could be laying down a bunt here. That could be why Coach Messer was coming to talk to him, because Triello is playing very, very far back there at third base, and for how fast he is, this infield is deep.
Fees went 0 for 2 with 2 runs scored, 2 walks, and he also reached on an error. So 3 out of 4 times he was in the batter's box, he was on the base path. He has men on first and second, one out here, bottom of the second. Hardhats with a 1-0 lead. First pitch to Fees, rides up high for ball one. Matt Hegre is on deck. 2 games in a row, he is the starting second baseman, and he did not disappoint in his Hardhats debut. So if a double play doesn't end this inning, we will see him come to the batter's box. 1-0 from Storbo. Rides high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Fees.
Fees just having trouble getting a pitch to hit. Yeah, I mean, these pitchers are must be scared when they're pitching around him. He has 6 walks on the season with a .441 on base percentage. So, yeah, any which way you can get on base, he's working for it.
Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Pitch broke away from Fees. 2-1 now the count. On second is Timmy Paris. He was hit by a pitch that put him on the base path. On first is Alex Weaver. A hit by pitch also put him on the base path. 2-1 to Fees. Rides up high. 3 balls and a strike. Great patience by the right fielder for the Hardhats.
Yeah, a very disciplined hitter, Cam Fees. We know this. We've seen him last year and then now into this year, and he's taken a step forward at the plate. We always knew he had the wheels and the glove out there in the field, and it really seems like he stepped forward to really step up to fill a hole out there in the outfield.
3-1 makes it in there for strike 2. So now Cam Fees has a payoff pitch scenario coming up. Grant Storbo to deal, Cam Fees to possibly try and hit. 1 pitch could load the bases up. 1 pitch could possibly score a run. 1 pitch and we could have 2 outs. So many possibilities. Storbo checks the runners. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Cam Fees strikes out. 2 down now for the Hardhats. That is strikeout number 3 for Storbo, and that is going to bring up Matt Hegre.
Yeah, the second one of this inning, both outs coming by virtue of a strikeout with Petrie and Fees. And now Hegre, he's got another big opportunity here to come up for this post-22 team. He already has 1 RBI in the last game. He's looking to pick up a second in as many games.
1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk, and he looks at strike 1 from Storbo. No balls in a strike to count here for Hegre. He was part of my stat of the day for Game 1. Both of the newbies, if you will, went 2 for 4 with 3 ribbies and a walk. That 1 walk belonged to Hegre. Next pitch. Off speed's in there for strike 2. And now Storbo's 1 pitch away from limiting the damage and leaving the second inning only down 1-0 for Cheyenne.
Yeah, Hegre has to protect here. You shorten up your swing. You're batting in the 9 spot right now. No one really expects anything from you on the opposing team, and you got to make them respect you when you come up in that 9 spot.
0-2 is low and away. Might be a base running gaff, but no. Safe at second is Timmy Paris. Took a little too much of a leap off a second there, but he got back in time.
Yeah, nice job there by Timmy Paris. It was close. I kind of held my breath a little bit, but a good head first slide got him back into second base, and that's what you need, especially from the leaders on this team. Can't have those mistakes.
1-2. Breaking ball misses outside, and Hegre didn't chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Can you call him a rookie in this case?
Well, you could call him a rookie.
Yeah,
He's new. He's new to the hard hat system. We haven't seen him last year or this year, so
okay.
I think he's still in his rookie campaign with the hard hats.
There you go. Well, the rookie then looks at 2-2 from Storbo. Storbo checks the runners. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Pitch gets away from Fleming. Everybody's advancing 90 feet. So now Hegre has a great opportunity here. However, it comes in the most dramatic of fashions. It is a full count scenario. 2 men in scoring position and 2 out in the bottom half of the second inning. 1 swing, a fair ball swing. And this could be a pretty decent lead for the Hardhats.
Absolutely. It's a big spot for this youngster here, and you get to see what he's made of right now. You really want. He already has quality at bat. Let's see if he can put the bat on the ball.
Payoff pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is going to end the threat. So the Hardhats at least plate 1 on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path, both of which were in scoring position. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, the Hardhats come out with a 1-0 lead. Go to the top of the third to try and keep it that way defensively. Trey Fleming, the catcher, Ryan Monaco, the second baseman, and then back to the top of the order to Braxton Innes, the center fielder. Are due up for Cheyenne Post 6 in the top of the third. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally.
Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is brought to you in the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box by Sound Pro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. Well, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit here on what is now a pretty cloudy Saturday night in Rapid City. But the Hardhats have a 1-0 lead here in Game 2 of this doubleheader, looking to sweep the day. They won 10-4 in Game 1, looking to claim victory in Game 2. 8-9-1 due up for Cheyenne Post 6 against Cody Carlson and the Hardhats defense. First pitch to Trey Fleming, batting in the 8-hole, is up high for ball 1. Trey Fleming in the last game played in right field, and he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. One of the 3 Riley McSherry handed out. 1-0 from Carlson, rides up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Trey Fleming, Ryan Monaco, who is seeing his first action today, and then back to the top of the order to Braxton Innes. 2-0, swung on and missed. Strike 1. 2-1 now the count from Carlson to Fleming.
And Carlson gets away with those high pitches because he has such velocity on his fastball. They're coming so fast, you don't really have time to decipher if you're going to swing or not. So, he gets away living up high in the zone, and he did right there as Fleming just swung right through that. And he's getting a lot of swing and misses today.
Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Geez, Teddy, you can't tee yourself up any better than that. I am very impressed.
Oh, well, let's not get too full. We still got a lot of game to call yet, but I appreciate the starting off to a good start.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. That's strike 3. So Cody Carlson now has his 4th strikeout on the game. And in back-to-back innings, he has started off the frame with a K in the scorebook of either variety, backwards or forwards. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Ryan Monaco for his first look at the Hardhats.
And that's now the 13th strikeout on the season there for Cody Carlson in now his 10th inning pitch. So he's being very effective here early on in the season.
First pitch to Monaco, rides low and away for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to Monaco, who defensively is playing second base. And he takes over for Brock Anderson. Anderson not in this game. Next pitch is swung on and hit to the right side of the infield. Matt Vickers is there. Thought about tossing it to Carlson, and then he said, hey, guys, I've got this. 3 unassisted, 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Braxton Innes.
Real nice job. 2 up, 2 down pretty quick. Now you go with Braxton Innes, Innes, the lone hit for the Cheyenne Post 6 ball club. So now Cody Carlson has to come back. He dominated the other 8 batters in this lineup. Now he has to just make a little piece here with Innes and try and get him in his second at-bat here.
That lone hit Teddy was talking about was a leadoff single. He made it all the way to third and did not come around to score. His first pitch rides up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count. Innes is the only left-handed batter in this lineup. And he looks at the lefty Carlson. 1-0 rides up high for ball 2. 2-0 is the count. Yeah, after Innes, Carlson has retired 8 straight batters, like Teddy mentioned. He's looking to make it 9. Carlson back to his windup. Here's the 2-0 to Innes. That's in there for strike 1. Check swung by Innes, but he didn't go around. Either way, it was a strike. So 2-1's the count.
Cody Carlson, a real dangerous pitcher. He started off, this is the second batter this inning that he started off 2-0, and he battled back, and that was the strikeout of Fleming. But he throws 60% of his pitches are for strikes, so he can battle back and find that zone.
2-1, swung on and missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count. Carlson looking for K number 5 and the conclusion of the top half of the 3rd inning. Like Teddy mentioned, he's battled back, started off 2-0 behind. Now he's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To the windup he goes. Carlson, 2-2. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that is K number 5 for Carlson, and that is going to do it. for a second straight inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Hardhats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 2.5, the Hardhats have preserved their 1-0 lead. Back to the sticks they go. To the top of the order we go to start off the bottom of the third. Justin Kramer 0 for 1, Cooper Bowman 0 for 1, and Zach Solano 0 for 1. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
And internationally, Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining.
The transition from defense to offense once again comes for the Hardhats, a third time in this game. Bottom half of the third inning coming up, they still have a 1-0 lead and look to expand it against this Cheyenne Post 6 club. Justin Kramer, Cooper Bowman, and Zach Solano all lead off. They are all 0 for 1 against Grant Storbo, who went through a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning. Since then has given up a run on just one hit. That was a triple to Matt Vickers, and then a pass ball knocked him in from third. Storbo's credit, he has 4 strikeouts to Carlson's 5. Teddy, you and I were talking about it in break. This is going to be a duel.
Yeah, both these gentlemen real efficient and getting real good outs. Storbo does have the couple hit batters that allowed free runners.
Kramer turns on that one, but fouls at third base side. He starts off with an 0-1 count.
I was just ripped foul. I lost track of I lost my train of thought because I was hit so hard. But Storbo does have those 2 hit batters, so he has allowed a couple base runners by virtue of the free pass. But still, both these gentlemen are just they're pitching very well, and this is fun to watch.
Here's the 0-1 to Kramer. That breaking ball broke back into the zone on the outside corner. What a heck of a pitch. No balls, 2 strikes to count.
I couldn't even identify what pitch that was. That was weird. The right-handed Storbo brought it back in the left-handed batter's box and brought it back over it, and it was too slow to be a two-seamer. So, that was tough. That's what I'm saying. He has so much movement on his pitches. It's pretty insane. He's doing a nice job.
No balls, 2 strikes to count here to Kramer. 0 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 1 now. 0-2 rides up high, and he will see another pitch. Ball, and 2 strikes to count. 1-2-3 due up in the order. Kramer right now down 1-2 in his count. Cooper Bowman next. Zach Solano in the hole. Storbo to the windup. Takes a breath. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and popped up. In front of home plate. Fleming's underneath it and he makes the catch. Pop 2 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down offensively for the Hardhats. Cooper Bowman's up next. 0 for 1 with one of those 4 Grant Storbo strikeouts.
That just shows the movement right there. Kramer having troubles locating it, getting underneath it, and popping it straight up. And got to give credit where credit's due. This Cheyenne coach, he's calling a heck of a game here for Storbo. Fleming is checking over for each pitch, and he's calling a heck of a game so far against these hard-hat hitters. Now we're getting through the second time through the lineup. This is where you got to figure Storbo out. This is where good hitters figure out good pitchers.
First pitch to Bowman rides high and inside. Ball and no strikes is starting count. Bowman, as I mentioned, is 0 for 1. He struck out the first of 4 strikeout victims, all of which are by swinging for Storbo in the scorebook. Storbo gets the sign from Fleming, who gets it from his coach. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, breaking ball catches the outside corner. Ball on a strike, now the count.
And he, Storbo's not overpowering you. We talk, his pitches are just dancing. And that's the best way to put it for visually for our listeners to hear. There's a lot of movement on these. I do not envy these hitters that have to try and figure this out.
Next pitch is swung on and fouled, first base side and out of play. And that will bring Bowman's count to a ball and 2 strikes. And you're exactly right on that. I think this is I would venture to say that this is the most gifted pitcher the Hardhats have faced all year, just by virtue of movement, pitch selection, command.
Definitely the hardest to hit. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, these pitches are hard to locate. Now, as we're going the second time through this lineup, we'll be able to see who can make adjustments to it. But I would agree. He so far, at least in these first few innings, he is the hardest to hit.
1-2 is fouled again, first base side. That goes out of play. Maybe it's in a Rapid Creek. We don't know just yet. Ball and 2 strikes will remain the count.
And this is what you get when you're playing Cheyenne. This is what we understood would be happening. It's two very good teams, and I would almost put money that Storbo might be the ace for this Cheyenne club, and it's going really well. However, he is throwing his 49th pitch now in the bottom of the third, which isn't terribly high, but if you can continue to see 15, 20 pitches, he might be out a little early, and that would be good for this offense.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Grant Storbo. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom half of the third, and that brings up Zach Solano, who's 0 for 1. Flew out to his defensive post at center field.
And this is the gentleman that needs to get things started. You have Solano, Vickers, Petrie, Paris. These 4 are everyone knows these are the 4 best hitters on this team statistically. So you want to get something started here with Solano and really start moving things around. These 4 are the gentlemen that are going to be able to do it if anything's going to crack Storbo.
First pitch to Solano is hit right up the middle. Stops made by Andrin. Throw to first in time. What a heck of a play that was by Andrin at shortstop, and that will end the bottom half of the third. Once again, it is a 1-2-3 inning offensively for the Hardhats, which unfortunately means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And after 3 full innings of play, the Hardhats still have a 1-0 lead over Cheyenne Post 6. Seriously, folks, this is going to be one heck of a pitching duel. Buckle your seatbelt because we are in for one heck of a ball game. Top of the fourth coming up. 2, 3, and 4 due up. That's Carter Mossy, Lincoln Trujillo, and Sean Carson, the designated hitter for Cheyenne. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the Guard Camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota.
So now here comes the top half of the fourth inning. This has been a relatively fast game. Statistically across the board, completely different from the first game's counterpart. Cheyenne Post 6, no runs on a hit and no errors defensively. For the Hardhats, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. Quite a pitching gem we have tonight. Cody Carlson back to it on the bump for the Hardhats, and he throws a first pitch ball to Carter Mossy, the left fielder, who is involved in a sacrifice bunt. 1-0. 2-seamer breaks in. There's strike 1, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
Just freezing these hitters up. And what makes this pitching duel so awesome is they're the opposite. Cody Carlson, the overpowering fastball pitcher. He does have a lot of movement as a left-handed pitcher, but then you look at Storbo, who has a slower pitcher but a lot of movement. It's just the countering effects that are so cool.
Carlson deals ball 2 up high. 2-1 the count. Back to the windup he goes. That one swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count from Carlson to Carter Mossy. Carter Mossy with that sacrifice bunt. Lincoln Trujillo 0 for 1. Sean Carson 0 for 1. Due up in this top half of the fourth. Carlson back to it. 2-2. Up high. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count.
Carlson really tried to punch him out with that one. He put everything he had in that pitch, and it kind of sailed on him up high. But he threw that one about as hard as he could.
Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Unbelievable. 6 strikeouts for Cody Carlson. He has started off the last 3 innings with a K in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Lincoln Trujillo, who is 0 for 1, playing third base.
Well, Cody Carlson came in with 9 Ks on the season. He already has 6 here alone in this game, and we're only in through 3 1/3, so he's looking really good.
Trujillo fouls off his first pitch. No balls and a strike to count. Trujillo in the last game went 1 for 4 with a strikeout and RBI single. Last time he was up, he had a man in scoring position, but he grounded right out to Cody Carlson. One of the many times the pitcher has been involved defensively this entire day of baseball. Here's the 0-1 from Carlson to Trujillo. That is swung on and hit in the air to right but foul. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
And this Cheyenne lineup just can't catch up with Cody Carlson. He's throwing an absolute gem. The lone hit that he issued was an infield single. It was a blooper right over, or a high chopper, excuse me, right over Carlson's head. And, so they can't make solid contact or catch up with him.
0-2. Swung on and fouled. So Trujillo stays alive. He is hoping to avoid being strikeout victim number 7 in this start for Carlson. What a heck of a first start of the year for Carlson. This is incredible. 3 relief appearances. Now here's a start. 0-2. Just missed inside low. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Carlson wanted that one.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to get that one, but you're still ahead in the driver's seat, 1-2. You really don't have to worry. Cody Carlson, a lot of command and control with his fastball.
1-2, swung on and popped up. Hegre's underneath it in second, and he can't make the catch. Ball came out of his glove. So Trujillo is safe on first. And that is the first error of the entire day of baseball for the Hardhats. E4 in the book.
Yeah, that's tough. It was a sky ball, and those are really hard because there's so much spin on them, and then you got to account this wind going from right to left. You still got to make that play. You can't make an excuse. You have to make that play. But it is tough out there. Now you need to try to get a ground ball out, roll it up, and clear these bases. Get out of this inning.
First pitch to Sean Carson, the DH, is outside for ball 1. Carson was the first strikeout victim of the entire game for Carlson. He struck out with a man on third in Braxton Innes. Next pitch is hit right up the middle. Hegre makes the stop. 4, 6, 3, double play. What a great way to rebound from the error. 4-6-3 double play ends the inning, and the Hardhats have preserved their 1-0 lead. No runs on no hits, 1 error for the Hardhats defensively, and not a single person left on base. And at the end of 3.5 innings, the Hardhats still have a 1-0 advantage and look to try and expand it in the bottom half of the 4th. Due up 4, 5, and 6, Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris. I'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting...
Bottom half of the 4th inning now coming up for the Post 22 Hardhats, and it was made all possible by Matt Hegre at second base. He comes up with an unfortunate E4 that puts Lincoln Trujillo on the base path with 1 out, and then comes right back with a 4-6-3 double play, just what the doctor ordered to get the Hardhats out of the inning. And now, through 3.5, the Hardhats still have their 1-0 lead, and they go to Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris in the batting order. Teddy made a comment earlier that Braxton Innes, the center fielder for Cheyenne Post 6, had the only hit of the game for Cheyenne. Well, that is the exact same scenario with Matt Vickers. The only hit of the game for the Hardhats, and that was a leadoff triple at the bottom half of the 2nd inning. He's in the leadoff spot again, and he shows bunt. And his first pitch rides a little too far inside for ball 1. We have an unbelievable pitching duel on our hands, folks. If you haven't tuned in already and you just started, you're just about to catch what I believe will be the best part about it. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and fouled right off of his person. So Matt Vickers tries to walk that one off. His count evens at a ball and a strike.
Those are always the worst. Those hurt. Those hurt pretty good when they go off your ankle, and you kind of get used to them in a way, but they still sting pretty bad going right off your ankle. And kind of touching on that whole pitching matchup. Well, 1 run, 2 hits combined between both teams through 3 full innings. So it's definitely been a pitcher's game here early on.
Here's the 1-1 from Storbo to Vickers. Rides up high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Now the count to the reigning South Dakota American Legion Player of the Year. Somebody that is counted upon as a leader on this Hardhats club. He has Eric Petrie on deck, followed by Timmy Paris. Those are the three gentlemen due up in this inning. Storbo deals the 2-1 to Vickers. Breaking ball makes it in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Just another unbelievable pitch.
Yeah, he started again the right-handed Storbo and against the left-handed Vickers. Storbo can start that in the right-handed batter's box and bring it over that outside part of the plate. And that one actually broke all the way towards the middle and just kind of froze Vickers.
2-2 is swung on and hit in the left field. Ball has some distance on it, and it goes all the way to the wall. Vickers is going to have hit number 2 on the game for himself and the Hardhats. He is on with a leadoff stand-up double. And he is once again back in scoring position for the big bat of Eric Petrie with no outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, Vickers having himself a heck of a day. He already leads the team. Now with his 8th double, he leads Solano by 2. And, you can definitely tell, or Vickers will be talking to Solano about that too. As much attention as Solano's been getting recently, Vickers has been equally as hot. And, he already has a triple and now a double. One of the big bright spots here for the Hardhats early on. He has Storbo's number, the only hitter Storbo can't seem to get out.
First pitch to Petrie is fouled, and that goes off the catching mask of Fleming. Trey Fleming behind the plate. 0-1 the starting count here for Petrie, and to expand upon the extra base hits, 6 of Matt's total extra base hits have come in the last 3 games. That's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible, and he has 19 hits on the season now, and 9 of them are extra base hits. So he's almost straight down the middle with base hits and extra base hits. He's a gentleman that's going to really see his RBI totals start to really balloon up.
Petrie shows bunt, and he gets it down. Storbo gets the stop. Underhand toss to first is in time. So Eric Petrie gets the 1-3 sacrifice bunt, and he moves Matt Vickers once again to third base. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th and a man 90 feet away from scoring. And here comes Timmy Paris once again with the task of trying to knock in Matt Vickers.
Just a huge sack bunt. And one of the things that I love, the entire team out here to greet Eric Petrie because they understand that sack bunt is important. It's such a tight game right now, and the way these 2 pitchers are playing, that could be the deciding factor. I mean, Matt Vickers hitting that triple there in the bottom of the 2nd, and then that big double, and then that sack bunt was just absolutely huge because it only has 1 out. That sacrifice fly is still in effect, and small ball could win you this game ultimately between these 2 aces on the bump.
Timmy Paris was hit by a pitch last time he was up from Grant Storbo. Second matchup head-to-head. His first pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike to count here to Paris. Great to see, too, Teddy, how much the Hardhats have improved in the sacrifice bunt. Last season, it was a big problem until the midway point. Now it looks like they picked up from where they left off.
Yeah, a lot of time spent on the bunt in the offseason.
0-1 is swung on and hit deep in the air to right. Underneath it is Todd, and Todd makes the catch. And Matt Vickers will come all the way home. So it is an RBI sacrifice fly for Timmy Paris. The Hardhats have now doubled their lead to 2-0. Both of those runs are Matt Vickers. And again, it goes back to that sacrifice bunt of Eric Petrie that was so integral in getting Matt into scoring position to make the sacrifice an option.
Yeah, it was huge. We talked about how good this pitching matchup is. Matt Vickers is the only one to have a hit for the Hardhats. He has both hits for him. And, of course, Innes has the infield, little infield chop hit for Cheyenne. So it's been just a pitcher's duel, and that small ball is ultimately going to play the deciding factor between these 2 teams.
Alex Weaver now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Fouls one into Rapid Creek, so 0-1 is his starting count. Weaver was also hit by a pitch. Only one of 2 gentlemen hit by a pitch from Storbo in this game. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled. No balls and 2 strikes. Weaver quickly behind. Storbo's looking for strikeout number 6. That would put an end to the bottom of the 4th. It would also match the total of Cody Carlson.
It's going to be interesting to see. Here comes the rain, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in the bottom of the 4th, and that's ball 1 there to Alex Weaver. But there is, it's kind of misting right now. But it'll be interesting to see how it affects these pitchers. I wish this rain would not be here so we could see these pitchers at their best in the dry weather. But, Mother Nature's being mean right now.
Here's a 1-2 to Weaver. Swung on and hit up the middle. Stopped on the play by Andren. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to do it. So it's a 6-3 ground out that ends the inning. But the Hardhats get another run on another hit, no errors, and nobody left on the base path. And after 4 full innings, they have doubled their small lead from 1 to 2 It is now 2-0 with the top half of the fifth inning coming up. Cody Carlson and company take their respective defensive positions, and when we come back, Carlson will face 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Ryan Andrin, Jackson Ayala, and Brandon Todd. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
What matters most. We're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi.
Ryan Andrin leads things off for Cheyenne Post 6 here in the top of the fifth inning. Post 22 Hardhats have a 2-0 lead on 2 hits. Cody Carlson, pitching a gem, throws ball 1 to Andrin, who leads off. Ryan Andrin, the shortstop, 0 for 1 with the strikeout looking. Jackson Ayala in a 1-3 ground out, 0 for 1. And Brandon Todd struck out swinging. Next pitch is a swing and a miss for Andrin. His count quickly evens at a ball and a strike.
I really wish I would have kept track of how the number of swing and misses that Cody Carlson has had in this game so far, because it's up there.
1-1, breaking ball, breaks in, catches the inside part of the plate. Ball and 2 strikes to count. That was that vaunted two-seamer of Carlson there.
That's his most effective pitch, too, because it has so much movement it can't get these hitters.
1-2 is swung on and a hit to Vickers. Vickers gets the scoop, says he's got it himself. Tag to first is in time. 3 unassisted for the second time in this ballgame. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring up Jackson Ayala. 0 for 1 on one of the many 1-3 groundouts we've seen today.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a day. That was a nice play there by Vickers. He understood he had to field the ball and then the hustle to get over to the bag. You know, a real nice job to beat Andrin to the bag there and get that big first out.
First pitch from Carlson, swung on and popped up. And the catch is made by Cooper Bowman, coming all the way into shallow right center field from shortstop. 1 pitch for Ayala. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Brandon Todd.
And Cam Fees was a little disappointed there. He was on his horse coming in from right field. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna get on Sports Center with this play right now," and a nice job there, him letting up and understanding Cooper Bowman had the better angle there, and Cooper Bowman really taking control of that infield there with Haggerty there at second base.
First pitch from Cody Carlson to Brandon Todd misses for ball 1. Brandon Todd is one of the 6 strikeout victims Carlson's rung up in this game. 1-0. He shows butt. It comes right to Carlson, and he makes the catch, and that's going to do it. Unbelievable. It's another 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Hardhats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 4.5, the Hardhats have preserved their 2-0 lead defensively. Back to the sticks they go to try and widen this gap against Cheyenne Post 6. Bottom half of the fifth inning coming up, 8, 9, and 1. It's Cam Fees, Matt Hegre, and Justin Kramer. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
We've seen the pitching prowess of Cody Carlson. Now we've seen the defensive prowess of Cody Carlson. Hopefully we get to see more of the offensive prowess of the Post 22 Hardhats as we go now to the bottom half of the fifth inning. If you have been joining us all day long, we thank you so much for doing so. We are broadcasting live from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth for all the action today and tomorrow and for the entire season. And what, again, we've said it multiple times already in this game, but what a gem we have. Grant Storbo, starting pitcher of Cheyenne Post 6, and Cody Carlson, starting pitcher of the Post 22 Hardhats. just locking horns right now, and it is something to see.
Yeah, this game is, of course it's Post 22 against Cheyenne Post 6 right now, but, there's a little subplot going on. Both of these pitchers are watching the other on the mound. That's a given. They're in the dugout, and their eyes are locked on each other because both these guys are throwing an absolute gem right here, and you got to give Storbo credit, too. He's pretty much made this extremely hot Post 22 lineup a little quiet tonight.
He will face Cam Fees, Matt Hegre, and Justin Kramer, and he deals a first pitch swing and a miss strike to Cam Fees. Fees is one of the 6 strikeout victims that Storbo has in this game, similar to his pitching counterpart for the Hardhats and Cody Carlson. Here's the 0-1 to Fees. Just missing the zone with that next pitch. Ball and a strike now the count.
Yeah, the lone bright spot here for this hard hat offense is Matt Vickers, who's 2 for 2 with a triple and a double. So, you're going to need some production from a few other people.
1-1, swung on and hit in the air, first base side into foul territory. And the catch is made on the play by Ayala. It was coming awfully close to that fence. Wanted to make sure that we still saw the catch. So there it is. Pop 3 in the scorebook, 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Hegre.
Yeah, that's close, and you wonder if that wind would carry it over, which has kind of died down here in the second game. So that wind and that rain we were talking about is still misting a little bit, but it's not anything that's going to be affecting this game for all the listeners out there. So it's still going to be a pretty good game of baseball here. As we got 2 2/3 innings left to play. This is going to be exciting.
First pitch to Matt Hegre is ball 1. Hegre went 0 for 1 in this game with a strikeout. He was the 5th out of 6 strikeout victims for Storbo. Here's the 1-0. That pitch is low and inside and gets away from Fleming behind the plate. Nobody on the base path to threaten, though. So the count goes to 2-0 for Hegre.
And now Storbo about to throw his 69th pitch, and whenever you get around that 70-80 pitch mark, that's when you want to evaluate your pitcher. But the way Storbo's been pitching, you're not going to evaluate him until this lineup starts hitting him. He could go 110 pitches if he's still throwing this way.
2-0 catches the outside corner, so there's strike 1 to Matt Hegre. 2 balls and a strike the count. He has Justin Kramer patiently waiting on deck. It's been an unfortunate day for Kramer. Went 0 for 4 in the first game, currently 0 for 2 in this one. But we know that when Kramer gets that first hit, the floodgates will open for him. 2-1, foul directly behind home plate by Hegre. Count evens now at deuces, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Kramer. He started off a little rough this season. He went through an absolute hot streak, and then, last game came up 0 for 4, 0 for 2 up to this point. And all it takes is a big hit, and a big hit in a game like this. If you can get a hit off a pitcher like Storbo, who's been shutting you down all day, that's going to really boost your confidence and allow you to really start seeing the ball well.
2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Storbo retires Hegre for a second time tonight by virtue of a K. That's now number 7 on the game. All of them, by the way, swinging. 2 up, 2 down offensively for the Hardhats. That's going to bring us up to Justin Kramer.
Oh, what a day. This is fun. This is fun. I know we talk about that we never like to see outs at the plate, and you got to give credit to Storbo. He's pitching well, and we're about to roll.
Kramer drops a bunt third base side, and he is going to get on with an infield bunt single.
That's all you needed. Told you, big hit against a pitcher like Storbo. Now, Matt Vickers isn't the only hard hat with a hit. As Kramer gets that bunt single, that's huge, and a lot of speed now with 2 outs on the base pass. So he might be trying to get into scoring position here. Fleming, no offense to him, he didn't have a good enough arm to throw out Kramer in warm-up, so we'll see if Kramer's in motion here to try and get in scoring position here for Cooper Bowman.
You can just see how aggressive these Hardhats will be on the base path. Storbo now to face Cooper Bowman. First pitch is in there for strike. No balls and a strike to count here to Cooper Bowman, who has Justin Kramer on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 is the Hardhats lead. 4 combined hits between both teams, 3 of them for the Hardhats. Justin Kramer comes up with a bunt single to end his cold streak and get on the base path. Now time's called. Cooper Bowman 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So look at a drive in Justin Kramer at a very key point in this game. Here's the 0-1 from Storbo. That gets away from Fleming, and Justin Kramer's going to take second. And he holds up and will retake his place on second base. So a passed ball advances Justin Kramer to scoring position. That evens the count for Cooper Bowman at 1-1. Do you think Justin tries to go for 3?
Absolutely not. He's in scoring position. A base hit. He's fast enough to score on a base hit. You're not going to make that third out in this close of a game at third base.
Next pitch to Bowman is a breaking ball that doesn't break down. 2 balls and a strike now, the count here to Bowman. He's also looking for his first hit of this game. He was on fire in game 1 of this doubleheader. Still looking for his first hit off of Grant Storbo.
I'll give you a little stat of the day here mid-game. Out of the we've seen 35 at-bats between the two teams with only those 4 hits and only 3 hitters able to get to combine for those 4 hits. With Vickers getting 2, Kramer getting 1, and then Innes getting 1 as well. So only 3 hitters out of 35 attempts have been able to get on base here, or get a base hit here against these 2 pitchers.
Storbo goes low and away for ball 3. So now Bowman in a hitter's count, a very rare hitter's count against Grant Storbo. 3 balls and a strike now the count. 3-1 is low for ball 4, and that is the first walk issued today by Grant Storbo. Yes, he did hit 2 batters, but this is the first walk that he has issued. 2 men on now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up Zach Solano.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing a lot of batters be walked, here and there, and that's the first walk for either of these pitchers.
Right.
Both these gentlemen have been finding the strike zone very well, and this is the last guy you want at the plate. When you need a big hit and it's a close game, Zach Solano, he could come up clutch for his team.
Check down to second, not there in time. And Cheyenne can't believe it. But Justin Kramer dove under the tag and just hit the bag in time. Awfully close.
That was really close there. Kramer's going to take another half step back to that bag. He doesn't want to be picked off there at second with 2 outs in scoring position. That's a mistake that can't happen in such a tight game. So, he's going to be a little more mindful out there, but his athleticism allowed him to get back.
First pitch to Solano is inside for ball 1. Solano's 0 for 2, with a fly out to center and a 6-3 ground out to his name. Should he safely get on the base path, Matt Vickers, with 2 of the Hardhats' 3 hits, is on deck. Both of them extra base hits. So if Solano can get on the base path, this could be huge. 1-0, swung on and hit in the air to the right side of the infield. Andrin, the shortstop, calls off the second baseman, Monaco, and he makes the catch, and that is going to do it. So the Hardhats don't plate any runs. They do get another hit, no errors, and 2 men left on the base path. And at the end of 5 full innings, it remains a 2-0 Post 22 Hardhats lead. Top half of the 6th inning coming up. This has been a very quick contest for both of these teams. 8-9-1 due up for Cheyenne Post 6. Cody Carlson right back on the mound for the Hardhats. We'll be back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streaming live on the internet at post22live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family.
Top half of the 6th inning now coming to us here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium, broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you for what has been just one heck of a game. Trey Fleming, the catcher, will lead off the top half of the 6th for Cheyenne Post 6. 0 for 1 with 1 of Cody Carlson's 6 strikeouts. Carlson still on the mound. Pitching a gem, deals ball 1 up high. Carlson will face Trey Fleming, 0 for 1 with that strikeout. Ryan Monaco, 0 for 1 and a 3 unassisted putout. And then Braxton Innes, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, 2-seam fastball's in there. Ball and a strike, now the count.
Yeah, that's hard to pick up. It looks like a breaking ball because it has so much movement on it, but till you hear that pop in Timmy Parris' glove, you know that's coming in quick.
1-1, swung on and missed, strike two. Ball and 2 strikes, now the count. From Cody Carlson to Trey Fleming. Fleming has already struck out once, 1 pitch away from a repeat. Here comes the 1-2 from Carlson. Just high and inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes the count.
That was tight. That was close. That's the only questionable call I have with the umpires today in both games. They've been doing a heck of a job. A real good game by these 2 gentlemen out here. So got to give them credit as well.
2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Cody Carlson. And that brings up Ryan Monaco, 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats.
And this Hardhats defense is feeding off Cody Carlson right now. The way he's pitching, they're zipping it around the horn like that. They love seeing this, and they know that this is absolutely special the way he's pitching. They're now down 5 defensive outs away from a second win tonight.
Brock Anderson actually is pinch hitting for Ryan Monaco, and he fouls off his first pitch. No balls and a strike to count. Brock Anderson in the last game went 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Didn't make it anywhere past second base, though, when he was on the base path. Here comes his 0-1. Swung on and hit to the right side of the infield. Hegre can't make the stop, and it comes into right field for a base hit. So Brock Anderson gets a huge 1-out single for Cheyenne Post 6. Their first base runner since the top of the 4th when Lincoln Trujillo reached on an error. And with 1 on and 1 out, that's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Braxton Innes, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single.
And that was 16 at-bats in between hits. It was the very first hitter at the game until now, and that's the second time finally through this lineup. Now you're back to Innes, who did have that hit in the top of the first inning, that infield hit. So, but that ground ball, that was tough. Just a couple inches more to the left than Cody Carlson would still have the bases empty. So look for another ground ball here to try and roll it up and get out of this inning.
Carlson's first pitch to Innes is up high for ball 1. 1-0 is the count, and I mentioned Innes 1 for 2 with a single, and when he got on the base path was stranded at third. He's the only person that has really threatened on the base path for Cheyenne Post 6. He struck out looking the last time he was up. Next pitch he looks at is strike 1 over the heart of the plate. Ball and a strike now the count with a man on first and 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
The real nice part about the left-handed pitcher, Cody Carlson, he can keep Anderson close at first because he's facing right at him, so he can hold him close.
Next pitch is swung on and hit right up the middle into center field for a base hit. Solano comes into field and he hits his relay man all the way to Justin Kramer. So there's back-to-back hits. It's another single. Everybody advances 90 feet, so you have 2 men on with only 1 out here in the top half of the 6th. And that is going to bring up Carter Mossy, who is 0 for 2. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout.
We're going to get a conference here from Coach Messer to talk with Cody Carlson on the mound. Give up 2 straight hits, especially after the way you've been pitching. You kind of have to come out and at least talk with him, see how he's doing, see how he's feeling. Carlson's only thrown 63 pitches in this game, and we're 5 1/3 into it, so I don't think they're going to pull him. I don't see any action in the bullpen. I think this is just a maintenance visit out there to see how he's doing and if he can get him through and finish this game without letting that big runner on second base and Anderson cross, because it's only a 2-run lead right now. That can change really fast, so you can't be complacent, and you still have to stay with your foot on the gas in attack mode throughout the rest of the ball game.
Tying run is on first. Go-ahead run is at the plate. That is Carter Mossy, 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt and a strikeout. First pitch from Carlson, breaking ball, catches the outside for strike 1. No balls and a strike, the starting count here to Mossy. Hardhats either need a ground ball up the middle, roll the double play, or a big out at the plate to really relieve the pressure off the defense here. Check down to second is in time. What a pickoff by Cody Carlson. He got the lead runner, and I cannot explain to you how clutch of a play that was.
That was huge. Now the tying run is at the plate. You have 2 outs, runner at first, out of scoring position. That was absolutely huge, and that was the first pickoff of the season for Cody Carlson. And his feet was so fast, and he that was just awesome.
Runner goes, pitches inside, but off the glove of Paris. So Braxton Innes is going to take the place of what used to be Brock Anderson at second. 1-1 now the count to Carter Mossy. And my goodness, there's still now a lead runner in scoring position, but now you only need one out to get out of this.
Yeah, that was huge. That was an absolutely huge pickoff move right there.
Carlson's next pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike to count. On second now is Braxton Innes. This is the second time that he has personally threatened in scoring position. Last time he made it all the way to third. Didn't come across, though. Carlson checks to second. 2-1. Swung on and missed. Two-seam fastball in there for strike 2. And now Carlson is 1 strike away from K number 8 and from once again stranding a Cheyenne runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and Braxton Innes, the lone bright spot here for this Cheyenne offense. He has 2 out of their 3 hits, and he's made it the farthest on the base path at second and third as well.
2-2, rides up high. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. It doesn't get any more nerve-wracking than this, where you have a payoff scenario with a man in scoring position and 2 outs in the top of one of the last 2 innings of the game, in a 2-run game at that.
Yeah, and this is only the second payoff pitch here for Cody Carlson, both of them coming against Carter Mossy in the last 2 at-bats that he's had.
Carlson fakes a check down to second. Nothing comes of it. So he steps off the rubber. Now he's good to go. Looks into Timmy Paris for his sign. To the stretch, checks second. Next pitch, ball 4. And that is the first walk that Cody Carlson has dealt in this game. 2 men on, 2 out, top of the 6th. Hardhats with a 2-0 lead. Here comes the big bat of Lincoln Trujillo.
That was close right there. That one ran a little far inside, and now it's going to be tough here, that tying run on first base. But you still have 2 outs. You just have to worry and go after the batter here.
First pitch to Trujillo, missed, and that's ball 1. Trujillo is 0 for 2. He was involved in a 1-3 ground out and then reached on an error. Carlson checks both runners. 1-0 to Trujillo. Swung on, and it's hit to short. Bowman gets the stop. Chuck to third. Doesn't get there. It goes off the glove of Kramer. But luckily, the ball is right in front of Timmy Paris, so nobody's going to come across. Bowman tried to go for the easy play at third. Kramer had to navigate the oncoming base runner, and it just went off of his glove. The bases are now loaded, and here comes the designated hitter, Sean Carson, who's 0 for 2 in this game.
That's going to be real tough to see if they rule that a hit, and they just did. That is a hit. That was a real hard play there for Cooper Bowman. He was all the way in the hole in shallow left field trying to get that ground ball, and that was a tough throw there to Kramer. Nice job by Kramer getting a piece of it and at least knocking it down so it wasn't a wild goose chase. But nice job by Bowman keeping that in the infield and the run from scoring.
Sean Carson looks at strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1 is the count. Carson has 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Bases are loaded. The most fortuitous opportunity for Cheyenne Post 6. 0-1. Breaking ball is in there for strike 2. And now Cody Carlson is 1 pitch away from getting out of this fiasco.
You could cut the tension with a knife here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. This is huge. You have your 4-hole hitter. There's a reason he hits 4 because he has the most power, and the first 3 are supposed to be on base. This is awesome.
Here is the 0-2. Swung on and fouled. Into the meshing behind home plate, and we will remain at a no ball and 2 strikes count. You can feel the tension in this press box. You can hear the tension with the fans in front of us. They're going ballistic. I can only imagine what this is like in the dugouts.
Oh, everyone's pretty quiet, just watching to see what happens.
0-2. High and away. Ball gets away from Paris. Nobody's going to advance. That was a little too close. Ball and 2 strikes. Now the count from Cody Carlson to Sean Carson.
Oh, this is what baseball's all about, baby.
Man.
This is the exciting moments right here. This is where you got to dig down and see what you're made of. If you dig down and find nothing, maybe it's not for you. But if you dig down and find something, you're going to come back fighting.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and now time is called by Sean Carson. Carson is 0 for 2. He struck out, the first strikeout victim of 7 for Carlson, and then he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Both of those outs ended the 1st and 4th. Here's the 1-2. High and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice job there by Cody. You still were up 0-2, and now you had 2 straight balls, but that's okay because you still have enough command of your fastball. Now you want to come back and throw a strike here. A nice job trying to get him to chase, but You got to battle back. Don't fall behind here.
2-2. Swung on and hit in the air to right field. Cam Fees tracking, is underneath it, sees it in the light, and he can't make the catch. Oh my goodness. The ball comes into the infield, and Cheyenne has cleared the bases. They have a 3-2 lead.
Not much more you can do right there. Cody Carlson did everything in his power to get that, and Carson ends up on second with the bases clearing E9, and there's nothing to say about that at all. It happened late in this game. Going to be tough. Now you got to battle back. You got to get this out at the plate here in Andron and battle back and show the fortitude that you have to come back with the sticks and really get yourself going.
Well, it looks like there's going to be some action in the Hardhats bullpen. If I'm seeing this license plate correctly, it's going to be Riley McSherry that's heating up once again, and he pitched a gem of a game against Cheyenne Post 6 earlier today. Poor Cody Carlson, like Teddy said, did everything that he could in this inning. Here's his first pitch now. Right back to him. It comes. Throw to first is in time, and that's going to end it. Another 1-3 entry in the scorebook. And in this top half of the sixth, we have 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 hard hat error, and boy, was it a big one, and 1 man left on base in scoring position. At the end of 5.5, the Hardhats, for the first time in this game, now trail 3-2. With 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, and Timmy Paris. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast?
Well, what a crazy turn of events we just saw in the top half of the 6th inning. Cheyenne Post 6, plates 3 on 3 hits with 1 very costly error, the Hardhats defensively. And that leads to a bases clearing error. 3-2, now the score. The Hardhats have to battle back if they hope to sweep this doubleheader. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, Timmy Paris up to the task. Matt Vickers, 2 for 2 with 2 extra base hits, a triple and a double. He came around to score both of the Hardhats runs in this game. Grant Storbo is still on the mound. And here is the first pitch to Vickers. It's in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Matt Vickers. Following him, Eric Petrie with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Timmy Paris hit by a pitch. He had a sacrifice fly RBI. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and drilled right up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Matt Vickers. How clutch was that? He is 3 for 3, and he's a home run away from the cycle, and that's going to bring up Eric Petrie with a man on first and no one out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, that was huge right there. Your leadoff runner getting on base, and Vickers, he has 3 out of the 4 hits here for this Post 22 team. The other one coming by virtue of a bunt, so he's seeing the ball well. He's the only one Storbo just can't seem to get down, and when he gets on base, good things have happened right here. Let's see if some small balls in play.
Check down to first, doesn't get there in time. Storbo trying to keep Vickers as close to that first base bag as possible. Trujillo looks like he's going to try and crash in from third. I think he's anticipating a bunt. Petrie shows it, lays it down. Storbo gets the stop. The throw to first is in time. So back-to-back, this one's a 1-4 sacrifice bunt, because coming over from second was Monaco. Excuse me, it was Brandon Todd. They moved him in. So there's a 1-4 sack. Matt Vickers is on second, and that's going to bring up Timmy Paris with 1 out and a man in scoring position. 1 hit, and this place could go crazy.
Yeah, this is big right here. This is a person you want to have at the plate. Like we talked about, one of the leading hitters, and now Petrie, 2 good sack bunts.
First pitch to Paris is swung on and hit to first, and the catch is made by Ayala. Unfortunate second out there on just one pitch from Paris. 2 down. Matt Vickers standing on second. Here comes Alex Weaver.
That's tough. Just jammed up Paris right there on the inside part of the bat. It went right off that handle, and that's always tough. A nice pitch there by Storbo, and now it's up to Alex Weaver. A base hit will still score Vickers from second base, but you have to get it down and in the field of play.
First pitch to Weaver is on the outside corner for a strike. No balls in a strike, the count to the gentleman playing in left field for the Hardhats. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and then was involved in a 6-3 ground out. He has Matt Vickers standing on second, the tying run in scoring position. And a fake check down to second will cause us to hold on for pitch number 2. Should Alex Weaver safely get on the base path, Cam Fees is next up in the batting order, and he is in the on-deck circle. No balls in a strike, the count from Storbo to Weaver. And now more time is called, this time by Weaver. Statistically across the board, Cheyenne Post 6, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Hardhats, 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors. One of those that allowed 3 runs to come in the top half of this inning. 0-1 to Weaver. Breaking ball misses low and away. Ball and a strike now the count to the young left fielder for the Hardhats.
And a big moment here for Weaver coming in. He has 5 RBIs on the season, 3 of them coming in that last game. So he's riding on a high right now, and he could really extend that even more.
1-1 catches the outside corner, low and away. Ball and 2 strikes now the count from Storbo to Weaver.
This is intense. I almost can't talk because I'm trying to watch this game so hard, and I gotta remind myself that there's still people that are listening at home and can't see this, so we gotta explain it to them. But this is just an intense game right now.
1-2 is fouled off by Weaver, so he protects and stays alive. Ball and 2 strikes remains Weaver's count. There are 5 zeros on that board until you get to the top of the 6th inning, where there's a big whopping 3 for Cheyenne. The Hardhats plated 2 in the bottom of the 2nd and the bottom of the 4th. That lead quickly evaporated half an inning ago. 1-2 to Weaver. Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the umpire had to give a little look over there to the Cheyenne dugout. They thought the inning was over. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they were heckling a little bit there, but that big 3, that was huge. That was a bases clearing error. That came with that. That was tough, real tough, and especially in such a good game. But Weaver here can make it obsolete.
2-2 is low, and now Alex Weaver has cranked up the pressure in this cooker just a little bit. He's got a payoff pitch scenario coming up from Storbo. Cam Fees is on deck. If Weaver can get on base, that could be a huge redemption at bat for Fees. Storbo looks into Fleming for the sign. Here's the payoff. Low and away, ball 4. So Alex Weaver gets a big walk. Men on first and second, and here comes Cam Fees, 0 for 2 at this point. Like I said, Teddy, this could be a huge at-bat, just personally for him, not even just the team.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to come back and regain his confidence, and he can do that here by tying the game up. The go-ahead run on first base. Weaver with a lot of speed.
Check down to second is not there in time, so Vickers remains on second in scoring position. It's Matt Vickers on second, Alex Weaver on first. Cam Fees is in the batter's box, and should he safely get on the base path, Matt Hegre is on deck. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. No balls and a strike to count here to Fees.
We should account swings and misses for both pitchers because they've had these hitters on their heels the entire game. Both gentlemen doing a nice job, and you see Vickers there standing on second base. You got to switch places with him here if you can't Fees.
Here's the 0-1. That missed low and away. Ball and a strike now the count here to Fees. Seems that in a situation like this for Fees, patience at the plate is absolutely critical. If you realize that you can't get a hit, let Storbo get you on the base path if that's the case.
Absolutely, and you can't go up there trying to force something to happen.
1-1, swung on and hit into left field for a base hit. Matt Vickers gets the green light. He is coming home, and the throw is not in time. Cam Fees with a 2-out RBI single. The Hardhats have tied it at 3.
Huge there for Cam Fees. You got to love it. RBI single right there for him, and tied this game up. Now you still have 1 out here in the 6th and then all of the 7th, so a nice job. And you still have a runner in scoring position here, so if Haggerty can get a hit here, that will score Weaver from second base, who has a lot of speed out there.
What an at-bat. You talk about the tension in this building, in the stands, on the field, in the dugouts. You talk about the drama, the intensity. That one swing was probably the most clutch play of this entire ballgame.
I think everyone got silent and went, they're going to see if Trujillo is going to be able to make that diving catch, and he couldn't. So, that was huge.
Haggerty tried to go for a bunt, and he went around. That is strike 1. No balls and a strike to Haggerty. He's trying to catch the post 6 infield asleep there. And it may have worked. He's got a lot of speed on the base path, and he would be the only play at that point because everybody else has the benefit of a huge lead. Here's the 0-1. Haggerty swings away, and he misses. Strike 2. Quickly, he is behind. No balls and 2 strikes.
And he comes in already with 2 strikeouts in this ball game, and it's tough to come in against a pitcher like Storebro, and this is only his second game in a hard hat uniform. He's in the farm system, but it's tough. He's got to try to come up big here and really face some adversity.
0-2, up high and off the glove. Everybody's advancing 90 feet to scoring position. Ball and 2 strikes now is the count to Haggerty. And if Matt Haggerty gets a hit, the Hardhats will have the lead.
Absolutely. A base hit at score 2 right now, and then you go into the top of the 7th, thinking you're expecting the way you would have with the lead and 3 outs to win it. So huge at bat right here from Haggerty, and he could be the hero.
1-2, rides up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Haggerty has Alex Weaver on third and Cam Fees on second. 2 balls and 2 strikes is his count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The Hardhats were trailing 3-2. A 2-out RBI single by Cam Fees just tied this game up at 3. 2-2 from Storbo. Wind up, deals. Caught him looking, strike 3, and that ends it. So the Hardhats strand 2 in scoring position, but they tie the game back up. And now this game will come back to the final inning of regulation. Changing of the guard on the mound for the Hardhats. We'll be back with the top of the 7th. Riley McSherry will try and close this one out and give the Hardhats a chance to win it in either 7 or maybe an extra innings. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
You know what I mean? Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car. But we wanted to give you even more.
Top half of the 7th inning, and Riley McSherry has now taken over pitching duties for the Post 22 Hardhats. He came in relief the last game against Cheyenne Post 6, went 3 2/3 innings with 2 hits, 1 run. The run was earned. Not a single walk and 4 strikeouts on 53 pitches. And Teddy made the comment that he's got such stamina in his arm that he could come out in this second game in the same day and pitch relief, and that's exactly what we see right here.
Yeah, that's one of the first things when you talk about Riley McSherry, at least with Coach Messer, is the fact that he can just pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch. And it was a funny story. I was listening on the bus and I was talking, and he's like, yeah, his arm's never tired. I think it's been once in his entire Hardhat career that he said his arm has been fatigued. So this kid has a lot of stamina to go and come in relief anytime you need him.
He faces Jackson Ayala, Brandon Todd, and Trey Fleming. Ayala 0 for 2, Todd 0 for 2, Fleming 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Next pitch on a 1-0 is fouled. Ball and a strike now evens the count. Oh, no, that was a fair ball, and the throw to first is in time. I thought he fouled that.
That's what I was talking about, those borderline pitches going down there. They can roll foul, roll fair. If they're in the fair territory, that is a fair ball, and it was a heads-up play there by Riley McSherry and Matt Vickers to both come in and get that out. That was big right there. That could have been a real easy infield single, but they kept their baseball IQ high, came down, got that out.
Well, there goes Jackson Ayala now 0 for 3 on the day with 2 1-3 putouts. That's going to bring up Brandon Todd. And Todd comes in 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a line out right back to Cody Carlson when he was still pitching. First pitch. Swung on and fouled. They're saying it's fouled. No balls and a strike now from McSherry to Todd. Cody Carlson's stat line, by the way, 5 innings pitched in this game, 4 hits, 3 runs, unfortunately all of them earned. Only 1 walk, 7 strikeouts.
No, he went 6 innings pitched.
Oh, 6, my bad.
You had me confused for a second. I had to look up, and I was worried there. I thought I was going a little bit crazy. But
6 innings, my apologies.
We're still good.
0-1 from McSherry. Swung on and missed. Strike 2 by Brandon Todd. No balls and 2 strikes the count. McSherry looking to close out this top half of the 7th and put the Hardhats in a scenario to walk off. Here comes the 0-2. Quick delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A huge strikeout for Riley McSherry. His first in relief in this game. His 5th in relief on the day. 2 up, 2 down defensively for the Hardhats. Here comes Trey Fleming, the catcher.
And I'll just expand on that. His 19th of the season, his 19th strikeout of the season, which is a team lead. And you got to think that Cody Carlson was going so good to this point. He wanted to make a run at that because he's now at 15. So he's a little bummed to see McSherry come out.
First pitch to Fleming is hit to Bowman. Stop his main throw to first in time. 6-3 putout. It is a gigantically crazy 1-2-3 inning on 6 pitches from Riley McSherry, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 6.5, the Hardhats have a chance to walk off and do up in the order 1, 2, and 3. Justin Kramer, Cooper Bowman, and Zach Solano. We'll be right back, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
We gave the Civic the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower, more room than ever, and a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally. Black Hills State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hills State University.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio. Rapid City is brought to you by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, Advanced Dental, and it's all coming to you from the Anytime Auto Sales press box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. 6.5 innings are in the books. Cheyenne Post 6 and the Post 22 Hardhats are all square at 3 runs aside. If the Hardhats in this bottom half of the inning plate 1, the game is over, and the Hardhats will win both games in this doubleheader today. And what will be the craziest of fashions?
And I believe we got to see 2 walk-offs last year here at Fitzgerald Stadium, so it's nothing new. And starting at the top of the order, that's all you can really ask for is, get your big hitters up there and able to get some base runners around.
We have a new pitcher on the mound for Cheyenne Post 6. Braden Morris now takes over, number 7. Will hurl in place of Grant Storbo, who went 6 innings First pitch to Kramer, swung on and hit in the air to right center field. Underneath it is Innes, and he makes the catch. One pitch, one up, one down, offensively for the Hardhats. Here comes Cooper Bowman, who can really use a hit.
Yeah, Cooper Bowman, 0 for 2 up to this point with 2 strikeouts. He did reach on the walk in his last plate appearance, and right now you'll take it by any means necessary how you get on base. You just need that go-ahead run to be on.
Morris' first pitch to Bowman is way outside for ball 1. 1-0 is the count to the shortstop of the Hardhats. He had a great game in game 1 of this doubleheader, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and a stolen base. This game, as Teddy mentioned, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. That next pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes the count now to Bowman. Bowman, the second of 3 due up in this inning. Zach Solano is the third one. He's on deck. Here's the 2-0. That one's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike now the count from Morris to Bowman.
And a stat line here for Storebro with 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts, all on 98 pitches here today.
Next pitch to Bowman goes outside again. 3 balls and a strike. Now the count. 91 pitches, you said?
98
pitches. Wow.
Yeah, he was just under 100. I think if he would have been a little closer to that 90 marker, just under, they would have seen him go in the entirety of this game.
3-1 is inside for strike 2. So now the count goes full for Cooper Bowman. A big payoff pitch for Braden Morris. Second batter in relief of Grant Storbo after those 6 innings of just awesome pitching. Here's the payoff. Swung on and popped up. And it goes into shallow right field. And a catch is made on the play by Todd. 2 up, 2 down offensively for the Hardhats. And here comes the big clutch bat of Zach Solano. He can end this game in one swing. He did it 4 times on Wednesday night. You'd think there's still some energy left in the tank for him to crank one more.
Yeah, there's got to be. And his hit streak's on the line right now, too.
Right.
This would be the first game this season that we do not see him hit in. So, a lot on the line here, not only with himself, but, the game is also on the line right here. So looking for him to produce, come up big.
First pitch to Solano is an off-speed that catches the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Solano, 0 for 3 in this game. F8, 6-3, pop 6 in the scorebook. Bottom of the first, bottom of the third, bottom of the fifth in that order. Here's the 0-1. Catches the outside corner again, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Zach Solano. If he does not safely get on base and this inning ends, we will go to an extra 8th inning to keep this game going. Here's the 0-2, low and away. Ball and 2 strikes the count now to Solano.
And the hard hat, they don't want to go to an extra inning. They shouldn't be going to an extra inning. This should be done there in the top of the 7th, which is real tough to swallow. But should be's can add up all they want, but we're still playing, so you got to come and produce here.
1-2 swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is going to end the bottom half of the 7th inning. Well, folks, let's go ahead and play some free baseball. We will have the top of the 8th inning coming up in just a few moments. 9-1-2 due up for Cheyenne Post 6. Top of the 8th coming up here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hills State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
Well, let's play some free baseball here at the Fitz. We played 2 games worth. I guess a few extra innings wouldn't hurt anybody. Some free baseball. The Hardhats and Cheyenne Post 6 tied up at 3 runs aside. Riley McSherry about to start inning number 2 in relief of Cody Carlson. Both starting pitchers went 6 innings. Both starting pitchers combined for 14 strikeouts to 3 walks. Just sickening how awesome this pitching duel was in the first 6 innings of the game. And, the big story here was that top of the 6th, that one error that forced us to the spot. Well, it didn't really force us to the spot right now. It forced the Hardhats in a scenario to force extra innings.
Yeah,
let's see what happens here.
A bases clearing error that all 3 runs scored on. So, that error is definitely the turning point in the ball game.
So here comes Brock Anderson. Tanner Weekly is into pinch hit. That is number 12 on his back. He looks at a first pitch strike from Riley McSherry. Here's the 0-1 from McSherry to Weekly. That's up high. Ball and a strike to count. Should there be no other pinch hitters from here on out, Braxton Innes is on deck. Carter Mossy is in the hole. Here's the 1-1 from McSherry to Weekly. That pitch is in there for strike 2. It buzzed the tower, but Weekly was kind of crowding the plate there. Ball and 2 strikes now the count.
Yeah, that had some movement on that fastball right there, and it brought it back over the plate, which kind of froze Weekly there as he turned away from it.
Next pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. He spun Weekly out of the batter's box. That is strikeout number 2 in relief for Riley McSherry. 1 up, 1 down defensively for the Hardhats here in the top of the 8th, and that's going to bring up Braxton Innes, the center fielder, who is 2 for 3 with a strikeout, 2 singles.
And Riley McSherry has retired all 4 batters that he faced. 2 strikeouts, 1 3-put out, and a 6 3-put out respectively. So, he's definitely still firing on all cylinders from the first game.
First pitch to Innes. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. No balls at a strike to Innes. 2 for 3 in this game. In the last game went 1 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. In this game he came around to score. That was the first of 3 runs on that one error out there in right field. Back in the top of the 6th. 0-1 from McSherry. That misses for ball 1, and it skips away from Timmy Paris. So a new ball is put in play, and a 1-1 count now to Braxton Innes. Carter Mossy is on deck, barring no substitutions. He is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt, a strikeout, and a walk. Next pitch is fouled by Innes. Ball and 2 strikes now is count.
And Innes with half the hits for the Cheyenne team. Out of 4 hits, he's got the 2 of them plus a run scored. So he's definitely been the leader on this team, at least offensively. Well, and defensively, too. He's done a lot of work out there in center field. So he's definitely, coaches are happy with his production, but McSherry's looking to put him down.
1-2, quick delivery causes Innes to foul it. Ball and 2 strikes will remain his count. McSherry only had a 6-pitch inning in the top of the 7th. He's, I believe, just matched that now. Just over that now.
Yeah, he's up to 14 pitches now, and he only threw I think he threw about 43 pitches in that, 53 pitches. I had it close, but he still got quite a bit in the chamber here to probably finish out this extra innings.
Next pitch goes high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Innes. Left-handed hitting Innes against the right-handed hurling McSherry. 2-2 the count, to the windup he goes. Just missed. That was awfully close. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count.
All right, I got my first issue with the ump tonight. That was way too close, especially in such a tight game like this. That you got to be able to get that call, but they get to do it, so you got to come back with a strike.
3-2 is swung on and hit up the middle of the infield. Bowman can't make the diving stop. It's a base hit in the center. Zach Salato fields it, throws it into the aforementioned Bowman. And that is the 3rd hit of the day for Braxton Innes. The go-ahead run is on the base path. That's going to bring up Carter Mossy. Here in the top of the 8th, we are in extra innings, and we are all square at 3 runs aside.
Innes and Vickers are the lone 2 batters to have more than 1 hit in this ballgame, and for that to have a hit in the outfield. So it's been a heck of a day for both pitching staffs, and these offenses are kind of struggling. But these 2 gentlemen, in Innes and Vickers, are hanging out there at first, talking about how good of a day they're having.
Check down to McSherry. Check down from McSherry, I should say. It doesn't get there in time. Again, that's another gentleman with a lightning-quick pickoff move. Just did not get Innes on first there. McSherry is yet to throw a pitch to Carter Mossy. Now another check down, skips in the dirt. Great recovery, though, by Vickers. That could have been very costly.
It's got to be tough there. You don't want Ennis to go into scoring position at all because the ground ball here could end this inning.
Mossy swings and misses at his first pitch. That's strike one. No balls in a strike to count to Mossy. He's already struck out once in this game. Walked the time after came around to score. His first entry was a 5-3 sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, Mossy, the lone walk issued by Cody Carlson after 6 innings.
Next pitch is fouled, and Mossy is behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Huge count here in McSherry's favor. He's got a couple of pitches to work with. Trying to get punch-out number 3 in relief and punch-out number 7 on the day. Checks the man, and Ennis on first. Here's the 0-2. Just missed. Ball and 2 strikes. Ennis is on first with a 1-out single. Here in the top of the 8th, we are tied at 3, playing some free extra inning baseball. McSherry checks the man on first. Runner goes. Next pitch, up high. Paris to second. Throw. Doesn't get there. But good on Cooper Bowman to be behind that play because that ball was going to skip in the outfield. So Braxton Ennis steals for second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count.
Yeah, and Hegre was tied up there by Ennis, who looks like he might have tweaked a hamstring or something, just a little bit sliding in there. He shakes it off and he's fine. But Hegre unable to, or it was impeded towards the ball there by Ennis. So a nice job there by Cooper Bowman to back it up and not allow Ennis to get to third base.
McSherry checks the man on second. 2-2 to Mossy. Up high, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. A huge payoff pitch here for Riley McSherry. Had one in the last at-bat. That was Braxton Ennis. That resulted in a single. McSherry deals the 3-2. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. A huge punch-out at the plate for McSherry. K number 3 in relief. 2 down with a man in scoring position. Here comes Lincoln Trujillo.
That was a huge punch-out. Got him on that high outside fastball. It's been working all night here for McSherry in the first game and now the second game. And now that gives you the second out, you can not worry so much about Ennis on second base and go after the batter here in Trujillo.
First pitch to Trujillo is low and away for ball 1. Trujillo in this game, 1 for 3. Involved in a 1-3 putout, reached on an error, singled, and came around to score what was the go-ahead run for Cheyenne Post 6 back in that 3-run top of the 6th. Here's a 1-0. That one's in there for strike. 1-1 the count. Should Trujillo safely get on the base path, Sean Carson, the DH, is on deck, and the last time he was up resulted in the error that cleared the bases and gave Cheyenne a 3-2 lead. McSherry checks the man on second. Next pitch hits him. And Trujillo is on first, hit by a pitch. Here comes Sean Carson, the DH.
That's tough right there, and we're going to get a little conference out here with McSherry. He's up to 26 pitches, but you got to keep in mind that's now 79 on the day because he did throw 53 in relief in that first game, and we talk about his arm. I don't think that's the issue because he'll still be fine, but you don't want to be giving free base runners, and with that go-ahead run at second base, yes, you're the home team, so you still get to bat. They can't win in walk-off fashion, but you would rather be able to go into the bottom part of this 8th inning. Tie ball game instead of down 1, having to score 1.
So after the conference, everybody goes to their respective defensive positions. And Sean Carson now comes up 0 for 3 in this game. A strikeout, grounded into a double play, and then reached on that bases clearing error. That really made this game interesting in the 6th inning. McSherry has 2 men on and 2 out here in the top of the 8th. We're playing free baseball. He's trying to get out of the jam. First pitch to Carson, misses high and outside for ball 1. 1-0 is the count from McSherry to Carson, and should he safely get on the base path, Ryan Andren, the shortstop, is on deck. He is also 0 for 3. 1-0, swung on and turned on to left field, but it goes foul and out of play. Ball and a strike now the count.
That ball would have been out of here if it was fair. You got to be honest with it. That was a well-hit ball. He turned on that and absolutely crushed that ball. Good thing it was fouled. Now McSherry has a new life to come back and try and win. He won that battle with that pitch, but he doesn't have to win the war.
Time's called by Carson. So he steps out of the batter's box, takes a second to gather his thoughts, and now he goes right back to it. Second and first, occupied by Cheyenne base runners. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Playing free baseball. Here's the 1-1. Next pitch is swung on and hit foul. Just got it on the end of his bat. Ball and 2 strikes now the count. If McSherry can get a punch out at the plate. How clutch would that be?
And Carson, I've seen him all game. He's swinging for the fences. Every swing he comes at you. If you're McSherry, you come with something off speed here. He's a fastball hitter, and you come with something off speed. He's still being aggressive to try and put another one over the fence, but he won't.
1-2, caught him looking, strike 3. And that ends the top of the 8th. And Cheyenne leaves a runner stranded in second in scoring position. And 2 overall on the inning. 7.5 innings have been played. The Hardhats have 3 offensive outs to end this and take a win over Cheyenne Post 6. We'll be right back with the bottom half of the 8th. 4, 5, and 6. Matt Vickers, Eric Petrie, Timmy Paris due up here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, ESPN Radio, Rapid City.
Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
What a pressure cooker this is. I never thought Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium could be turned into a pressure cooker, but man, oh man, we have one heck of a game on our hands. Through 7.5 innings of play, Post 22 Hardhats and Cheyenne Post 6 remain deadlocked at 3. The Hardhats, now in the bottom of our 8th and first extra inning, have a chance to end this madness. Matt Vickers leads off 3 for 3, a home run shy of the cycle, followed by Eric Petrie, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and 2 sacrifice bunts, and then Timmy Paris, 0 for 1 with a sac fly RBI and a hit by pitch. Brandon Morris still up. Here comes Vickers. He hits that one to second. Stop is made. Throw to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down. It's a 4-3 putout, and that brings up the big bat of Eric Petrie.
That's tough there. Vickers still 3 for 4 on the day. He has 3 out of the 5 hits for this Hardhat team, and Petrie, another bright spot. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he does have 2 sac bunts that have been absolutely key moments in order to get 2 of those runs across. So he's still contributing at the plate, and he's looking to contribute here by getting a base hit.
First pitch to Petrie is a breaking ball that doesn't break down. Ball 1 dealt to the designated hitter for the Hardhats. Both of his sacrifice bunts have led to Matt Vickers scoring on some form of advancement. Here's a 1-0. Next pitch just misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Timmy Paris is on deck. He was red hot in the first game. Had a sac fly RBI in this one. 0 for 1, also hit by a pitch. 2-0 to Petrie. In there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to count now to Petrie.
Petrie coming into this game batting .412. He has 2 extra base hits on the season, and if he can see one get into the alleyways, you look for him to take 2, if not more.
2-1 is swung on and popped foul. And it goes into the concourse. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Morris in relief of Grant Storbo. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. It was a heck of a pitching duel early on. Morris now here to finish it. 2-2. Outside. Full count now for Petrie.
Nice job there by Petrie laying off. He really wanted that one. That slider was running off the plate. It started on the outside part and ran off into that left-handed batter's box. And nice job being disciplined and not going after that pitch.
Payoff hits him. And Eric Petrie goes to first base. And the winning run is now on the base path, and that brings up the big bat of Timmy Paris now. What an at-bat this is.
This is huge right here. Petrie standing there on first base. That's the winning run. You got to do whatever you can to push him around. And if there's a ball hitting the gap, he's going to be taken off. And you got to think they might be aggressive to try and win this in big fashion.
First pitch to Paris, catches the outside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike to count here to the Hardhats backstopper. Eric Petrie, the winning run in this game is on first. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Hardhats and Cheyenne tied at 3 aside. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Off speed. Strike 2. 0-2 the count.
Check down there at Petrie at first. I think the hit and run might have been on, and nice job recognizing it. Did Petrie that he had to get back pretty quick. So nice job. Nice head first slide to make it back to first, because there's no way you can get thrown out on the base path if you're the winning run.
Morris checks Petrie. 0-2 to Paris. Swung on and fouled. And Paris stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes his count. Here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out and the game-winning run on first. Alex Weaver is on deck. 0 for 1 with a walk and a hit by pitch. In the first game, had 3 RBIs, so you know that he's very clutch. If he had to come in and make the hit, he could do it. Runner goes 0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Throw to second is not in time. So Eric Petrie is still in scoring position with a stolen base. However, Timmy Paris strikes out. 2 down now for the Hardhats, and that's going to bring up Alex Weaver with a chance to knock Petrie in for the win.
Alex Weaver is 0 for 1 on the day. He's reached base twice, made it to second and third, left in scoring position both times. And I know you touched on it with those 3 RBIs in the first game, so he knows a base hit will win this game for him. And you know, this is going to be intense. He's ready for it right now.
First pitch to Weaver, catches the outside for strike 1. No balls and a strike the count now to the young left fielder for the Hardhats. Should he safely get on the base path, or his hit does not score Petrie, Camp Fees is on deck, and he had probably the most clutch 2-out RBI single of his life back in the bottom of the 6th. 0-1 to Weaver. That's in there for strike 2. Low in the zone, no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Morris of Cheyenne Post 6 is 1 strike away from giving us a 9th and 2nd free inning. Morris looks in for the sign. Petrie, that big lead off a second. Here's the 0-2. Petrie goes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's going to do it. So the Hardhats strand the game-winning run in scoring position, and to the top of the 9th we go. The Hardhats looking to keep Cheyenne off the board and force another walk-off scenario after a half inning. We'll be right back at the top of the 9th, folks. We're in it for the long haul here. We'll be right back on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center.
Another change on the mound for the Hardhats. The stellar relief appearance of Riley McSherry has concluded. We'll have a stat line for you in just a few moments. In the meantime, Kyle McGuire now takes over on the mound for the Hardhats. And McGuire comes in now for the 5th time in relief. 7 2/3 innings under his belt of work. 5 strikeouts to 6 walks at a 3.65 ERA. McGuire will face 5, 6, and 7 in the order for Cheyenne Post 6, starting off with Ryan Andrin, 0 for 3, Jackson Ayala, 0 for 3, and Brandon Todd, 0 for 3.
Stat line for Riley McSherry. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, no earned runs, no runs at all, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit batter on 30 pitches. So he had a very quality, both times out, both games, he had a very quality and very efficient relief appearance for this Hardhat club.
The Hardhats have Cam Fees, and then Riley McSherry will bat. And then Justin Kramer coming up in the bottom half of this 9th inning. However, they do have to get by 5, 6, and 7 for post 6. Ryan Andrin, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. One of the 7 that Cody Carlson dealt. Kyle McGuire in a very high-pressure situation deals his first pitch, and it goes high and outside for ball 1. It's got to be comforting, at least in some form, for Kyle McGuire that the 3 hitters he's facing combined are 0 for 9. Next pitch is in there for strike 1 on a blistering fastball, 1-1 the count.
Well, I don't know if he even expected to pitch in this game, especially after the way it started. So it's going to be good to see how he handles his tension. He's a young pitcher to see this.
Next pitch is swung on and fouled. Ball and 2 strikes the count now. He's coming out with some roaring velocity, right? I don't think I've ever seen him throw this hard.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. He's definitely throwing very hard. These hitters are behind. Well, this one hitter, Andrin, that he's faced has been behind every pitch he's seen.
1-2. Breaking ball didn't break down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we know that he has a devastating curve like most of the pitchers on this staff. Might be his punch-out pitch if he plays it right.
Yeah, the curve is definitely a pitch that every kid wants to learn how to throw a curve, and that's why a lot of young pitchers have a pretty good curveball. So look for him to go to that, and maybe even a slider, depending how developed that slider is.
2-2 is fouled. That goes off of the face mask of Tibby Paris. Count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Andrin up right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes his count. 0 for 3 stat line on this second game. Jackson Ayala on deck, 0 for 3. Brandon Todd in the hole, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Next pitch, swung on and popped up. Foul territory, that's going to go out of play. Lather, rinse, repeat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We stay at the same count.
And these hitters, 5, 6, 7, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts, and also 3 1-3 putouts. So,
yep.
it's kind of funny, when you look at the book and the coincidences that you find going throughout. Had no relevance. I just felt like pointing it out. That's the beauty of having a mic.
2 balls, 2 strikes. McGuire deals. Up high, ball 3. 3-2 now the count. First batter faced, first payoff pitch. Ryan Andrin, the leadoff hitter for Cheyenne Post 6 here in the top of the 9th. 3-3 is the score. We are in our second free inning. Here's the payoff. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. What a huge punch out for Kyle McGuire to start off the inning. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Jackson Ayala.
6th strikeout of the season there for McGuire, and he's now in his 7.2 innings pitched so far, so that'll go up to about 8.2, but he's a very, very good kid. Just blew that fastball right by Andrin. Right.
First pitch to Ayala is inside for strike 1. No balls and a strike to count to the first baseman for Cheyenne Post 6. Fees, McSherry, and Kramer due up in the bottom of the 9th. The Hardhats have to get there first. 2 outs away from doing that. 0-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. What a pitch that was. No balls, 2 strikes. McGuire's ahead.
Huge. Started that on the middle of the plate, and it broke to the outside and lower part. And even if Ayala would made contact with that, it would have been a ground ball right to McSherry at second. So that was a beautiful pitch.
0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. You've got to be kidding me. Kyle McGuire, 2 batters, 2 Ks, 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Brandon Todd.
Did we mention that's this kid's first year of varsity coming out here in extra innings, 2 batters, 2 strikeouts? You got to like what you see from him, and every time he's come out this season, you like what you see from him, and you can really rely on him. That's why he's out in these extra innings.
First pitch is low and away for ball 1 to Brandon Todd. Brandon Todd played in right field in this game, and then he was moved to the middle infield. Todd 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Struck out by both pitchers. That next one hits him. So he will be on first. The go-ahead run for Cheyenne Post 6 is 270 feet away from scoring. That's going to bring up Trey Fleming, the catcher, who is also 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
And that's the only thing that we've even seen that is a little rough here with Kyle McGuire. That is a 5th batter hit on the season, which does lead the team. But, you know, they don't come in the situations that are absolutely devastating. And he'll hit one and he'll come back and, you know, strike out another one, or he'll sandwich them between strikeouts, and that's what you like to see. So it's not anything that's terribly a concern right now, but that is the go-ahead run that you allowed on first. And there is a pinch runner coming in. I believe if I caught that, that's number 6, Brandon Todd, who came in to pinch run there. Oh no, he's just back out on first base. I apologize. I saw him come out from the dugout.
Runner goes. Pitches a strike. Throw to second. Doesn't get there. So Todd steals second. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. However, McGuire did deal strike 1 to Trey Fleming. And by the way, he switched out his hard hat for a cloth hat.
Got a young Matt Vickers there. Just can't keep that hard hat on when you're pitching. Some of these pitchers, they have such a big kick after the pitch is released that hat just can't come on or can't stay on.
0-1. And they're going to call that one a balk. I think he may have stumbled off the rubber, but now he moved Todd to third base.
Yeah, that's tough. That's hard. There's nothing you can do in that situation when you go and you slip. You're taught as a pitcher to try and get that pitch at least, you know, to the catcher. Don't give it over the plate, but that's real tough there. Now you got to get Fleming here to fly out or something.
The 0-1 is popped foul and out of play, so McGuire has a huge count in his favor at no balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Todd is on third, now 90 feet away from putting Cheyenne up by 1. 2 outs, top of the 9th. We are in extra innings for those just tuning in. Kyle McGuire in relief. Here's the 0-2. Up high, buzzed the tower. Ball in 2 strikes now, the count to Trey Fleming.
Real smart pitch. He understands the count that he was in. Tried to get that high fastball. It was a little too high and inside. There, you want to make a borderline pitch up there more towards the lettering across the jersey, but still understanding, and he's still in a good spot.
1-2 is swung on and hit in the air to left field. Alex Weaver in foul territory is underneath it, and he makes the catch. And how clutch of a catch in left field was that for Alex Weaver, and that takes care of the top of the 9th inning. Cheyenne Post 6 stranded the go-ahead run on third, and that ends 8.5 innings of play. When we come back, Cam Fees, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer have a chance to end this madness in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be right back in just a few moments, folks, here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Stream live on the internet, too, at post22live.com.
Honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 Baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, even in extra innings, is brought to you by SoundPro, the Physical Therapy Center, Courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, Advanced Dental, and it's all coming to you from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Braden Morris, is still on the mound for Cheyenne Post 6. He will face Cam Fees, Riley McSherry, and Justin Kramer in the batting order here in the bottom of the 9th. The Hardhats could have a chance to end this if they get a run across in this half inning. First pitch to Fees is up high for ball 1. Teddy, I would not be surprised to see Fees try to go for that bunt single because he's got the speed to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough if Trujillo is going to be there at third. You gotta be careful.
Next pitch is lined right to Ayala at first. Great contact by Cam Fees, but it's an L3 in the scorebook. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Riley McSherry, pinch hitting for Matt Hegre.
And we might see Riley McSherry here be bunting. I'm almost going to put some money that I think McSherry might be faster than Fees here, but you got to think him batting in the situation. He's kind of in a slump, trying to get something down.
First pitch to McSherry is a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. No balls and to strike the count here to McSherry. This is his first plate appearance. Takes over for Matt Hegre, who struck out in all 3 plate appearances that he had in this second game. Morris looks in for the sign. 0-1. Swung on and fouled directly behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes the count.
Well, there goes my thought of a bunt here. So now he's got the green light to swing away and try to put something out there. Try to get an extra base hit so he could put himself in scoring position.
No balls, 2 strikes the count to McSherry. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Breaking ball doesn't break down. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to McSherry.
Ooh, this is intense. This is a fun one here, folks. We're in extra innings. We're now in the bottom of the 9th of a 7-inning game, and McSherry up to bat.
And he fouls off his next pitch to keep his count at a ball and 2 strikes. I'd like to point something out here, Teddy. We haven't gone past inning number 7 in our scorebooks this season. Not once.
Even the 9-inning games get finished early.
Right.
So, this is a treat. This is definitely, we thought it'd be a fast game.
1-2, fouled off again by McSherry. He stayed alive on that one. If that swing there to push the ball foul was not the definition of protection of the plate, I don't know what is.
Absolutely. That was close. It was a borderline pitch. He had to foul it off. And, like I say, about any time they get in these battles, the more pitches you see, the more chances you have, or the pitcher has to make a mistake. And as the hitter, that the advantage goes to the hitter, the more pitches you keep seeing.
Ball and 2 strikes the count here to McSherry. If my count is correct, this is pitch 6 of the at-bat. 1-2 from Morris. Swung on and hit in the air to center field. Underneath it is Innes. He's tracking it towards the warning track, and he makes the catch. Riley McSherry made some great contact on that ball. However, he is out. 2 up, 2 down now for the Hardhats offensively, and Justin Kramer is the last chance in this bottom of the 9th inning before we are forced to go to a 3rd extra inning to the top of the 10th.
Yeah, this is tough. This is 2 teams just battling it out and neither one giving an inch. So, you got to start to get base runners here. You've only had 1 base runner in these extra from the bottom of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. You've only had 1 base runner, so you got to start getting runners on base.
Kramer fouls his first pitch. No balls and a strike, his starting count. Justin Kramer, no stranger to walk-off wins. The very first walk-off win you and I ever saw was against Brookings. And he won the 3rd game in a walk-off.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Just shot it right back up the middle for a base hit.
0-1 is fouled, first base side and out of play, and unfortunately he is behind. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Should he somehow safely get on the base path, Cooper Bowman is on deck. 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Should this be the last out, it'll be Bowman, Solano, and Vickers due up in the bottom of the 10th. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and fisted, first base side, foul territory, and the catch is made by Ayala. And that will end 9 innings of play. 2 extra innings are in the books. I guess good things come in 3s. Why not a trio of free baseball innings? We'll be right back with the top of the 10th, folks. 9-1-2, set to face Kyle McGuire and company defensively for the Hardhats. We'll be right back here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with
Well, good things come in 3s, and I guess more official numbers are 10. So we have now our 3rd inning of free baseball starting, and it just so happens to be the 10th one. Maybe this is an omen that this is the final inning that we will play in this game. Maybe it's not. Kyle McGuire is back on the mound, relieving for the Hardhats. picking up for Cody Carlson 6 innings, and then Riley McSherry's 2. 11 strikeouts combined between both Hardhats pitchers prior to McGuire. And he's added an extra 2. So that's a baker's dozen of 13 between 3 gentlemen on the bump. Kyle McGuire will face 9-1-2. Tanner Weekly will bat for the second time in this game. He is out in right field. Brandon Todd moved to second base. So it's Weekly, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Braxton Innes, the big bright spot for Cheyenne Post 6. And then Carter Mossy, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a sac bunt. First pitch from McGuire is high for ball 1. 1-0. Skips in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Kyle McGuire had 2 strikeouts to start off his first inning of relief. Hit a batter. That was Brandon Todd. He made it all the way to third, and he was stranded on a fly out to Alex Weaver in foul territory. 2-0 the count now from McGuire to Weekly. And the pitch. Misses low for ball 3.
Real tough. You don't want to get the go-ahead run on base. You don't want to give him anything free right now. You're down 3-0. You got to try and battle back right here.
3-0 in there for strike 1. Fastball's in there, 3 balls and a strike now the count. By the way, Teddy, there is action in the bullpen, and I'm almost positive I saw a left arm. I believe the next gentleman in relief would be Holden Jackson, so we might see the left-hander with some nasty off-speed come out. 3-1. Swung on and hit to Cooper Bowman at short. Bowman gets the scoop. Throw to first is in time. Great scoop by Matt Vickers. 6-3 in the book. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Braxton Innes, who on this game is 3 for 4 with 3 singles, a run scored, and a strikeout. You have to absolutely get by this batter at the plate. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, he has that run scored, been stranded in scoring position twice. 3 out of the 5 hits for this team. He's doing everything right now, carrying the load offensively, and right now you want to get an easy out.
First pitch from McGuire just misses inside. Ball 1 is dealt to Braxton Innes. In order of his plate appearances, single stranded at third, strikeout looking, single came around to score, single stranded at second. 1-0 to Innes. Swung on and hit in the air to the deep part of the infield. Cooper Bowman's underneath it, and he makes the catch. What a great catch by Cooper Bowman. Looked like that ball was going to take a crazy tailspin on him. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats. Here comes Carter Mossy.
Absolutely what you needed right there. Cooper Bowman, like I said, he just keeps impressing me with his defensive skills. He's so good there at the shortstop position. It's nice to watch him play. He's a very solid. He's one of those people he's going to make the play when it's hit to him. And now those 2 quick outs, you got to get out of here fast.
First pitch to Carter Mossy is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Mossy comes in order of plate appearances. 5-3 sacrifice bunt, strikeout swinging. Walk came around to score, strikeout swinging. So he is 0 for 2 on the night. 0-1, missed low. Ball and a strike now the count from McGuire.
And we got some action over here in the Cheyenne bullpen as well. It looks like they're trying to warm up another one of their relief pitchers. We can't catch a number because the brush kind of blocks everything. We can just kind of see heads moving and throwing in there. So if anyone comes out, we will let you know.
Next pitch from McGuire is in there for strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes the count, and I believe I saw 2 in the Cheyenne bullpen. That's Ethan Casey.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say because we saw him walk back to the bump there. So we'll see if he comes in this next inning or that inning after.
1-2 from McGuire is fouled. He's 1 pitch away from ending this inning and getting his 3rd strikeout in relief. Ball and 2 strikes remains the count. Should Mossy safely get on, it is the heavy bat of Lincoln Trujillo. He's 1 for 3, hit by a pitch. But the balls that he has hit in this game have been great contact. 1-2. Ball's up high, doesn't break down. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Kyle McGuire trying to end this top half of the 10th. And set up 2, 3, and 4 in the Hardhats order. Next pitch, breaking ball, doesn't break down. Count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And we say it just about every time when you have 2 outs and a full count, you definitely don't want to see another hitter, especially with the tie game and the go-ahead run. You got to get him at the plate here, get him to ground out.
3-2. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. A huge punch out by Kyle McGuire. That is 3 in relief. And that brings us to the bottom of the 10th inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Hardhats. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. And at the end of 9.5, yes, we are still playing baseball. And once again, the Hardhats have a chance to end this madness. 2, 3, and 4. Cooper Bowman, Zach Solano, Matt Vickers due up for the Hardhats. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 10th here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball, ESPN Radio, Rapid City. Stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
With your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America.
The bottom half of the 10th inning now comes to us here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. From the Anytime Auto Sales press box, we have now broadcasted 9.5 innings of baseball, 2.5 past the regulation limit for this game. The score is 3-3. If the Hardhats plate 1 here, then the game is over. On the mound for Cheyenne Post 6 is Lincoln Trujillo, moved over from third to the mound now. So he now takes over.
And I believe Brandon Todd is now at third base, if I caught the number correctly there, over at third. I guess we'll see in a sec on his warm-up throw.
Yes, that's correct. Well played. Well played, Teddy.
Now we just got to figure out who's at second on his warm-up throw. Let's go and...
No. What's on second?
What?
I was trying to crack Abbott Costello.
Oh!
You said, I have to try and see who's on second, and I said, no, what's on second?
Oh, well, I've never seen Abbott and Costello.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I don't know about Abbott and Costello. That's a little before my time, I guess.
You're a baseball broadcaster, and you don't know who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Oh, no.
Teddy, I
don't know.
I seriously misjudged you. For the record, Ethan Casey's at second. Unbelievable. I'm very disappointed, Teddy.
I guess I got some learning. I got some learning to do.
Hopefully,
some homework to do before tomorrow's game.
Hopefully, Cooper Bowman, Zach Solano, and Matt Vickers erase that displeasure that I just experienced here, and we can end this in 10 full innings, and I can show you Abbott and Costello so you can get caught up.
There we go.
So now here comes Cooper Bowman, his first at bat of the bottom of the 10th. Trujillo's first pitch is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Bowman is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. The Hardhats plate 1 in this inning. The game is over. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball is inside for strike 2. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Bowman's behind.
Trujillo is throwing strikes. Jumped out 0-2. You got to be careful and got to protect here.
Here's the 0-2 to Bowman. Low and away. Did not go for it. Ball and 2 strikes now the count to Bowman. Bowman 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Zach Solano 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Matt Vickers 3 for 4 with everything but a home run. Here's the 1-2 from Trujillo to Bowman. Caught him looking on the outside corner. Strike 3. And that is K number 3 on the night for Cooper Bowman. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats. Here comes Zach Solano.
Yeah, that's real tough right there. Especially with the tie ball game. We're now in the bottom of the 10th inning. You never want to go down with a backwards K.
Here comes Solano looking for his first hit of the game. First pitch skips low and inside for ball 1. And this is now the 5th opportunity for Solano to keep this hit streak of his alive. He's at 13 straight games. He's the only player on this team to hit in every single game. He's looking for number 14 in a row. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses, low and away, 2 balls, no strikes.
And a stat line for Braden Morris. He pitched 3 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter through the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Here's the 2-0. Up high, 3 balls, no strikes to Solano. 1 pitch away from putting the winning run on the base path and bringing up the red-hot bat of Matt Vickers. 3 for 4 in this game with any hit you can think of except a home run and a bunt. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4. And Zach Solano earns a 4-pitch walk. The game-winning run is 270 feet away from scoring. And now, here comes Matt Vickers.
Yeah, and Vickers has done it all tonight. He's had an absolute monster of a day at the plate. Scored all 3 hard hat runs, has a single, double, and triple. And if he can get an extra base hit, Solano can really move around the path.
First pitch to Vickers from the righty Trujillo goes outside for strike 1. No balls and a strike the count to Vickers. If I see this correctly, Luke Ferdinand is in the on-deck circle. Check down to first, not there in time, so Solano's safe. So Luke Ferdinand would then be batting for Eric Petrie. And he had a great debut in the first game of this doubleheader as a hard hat. Here's the 0-1. Rides up high. Ball and a strike now to Vickers. Matt Vickers has the game-winning run in Zach Solano 90 feet away from him to his right on first. 1 out, bottom of the 10th. We are still all square at 3. Trujillo gives him a look at first. Deals a 1-1 to Vickers. That rides low and inside. 2 balls and a strike to count.
It feels like the everyone's air. They hold their breath with every pitch coming out. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. We've seen a lot of baseball. We're seeing 17 innings, and everyone's still just intense.
2-1 is swung on and hit in the air to left. Ball has some carry on it. Mossy is underneath it, and he makes the catch. Solano tags up. He is going for second, and the throw is not there in time. Great heads-up base running by Zach Solano. And now if Luke Ferdinand, the left-handed hitting pinch hitter for Eric Petrie, the DH, hits one anywhere into the outfield, you can guarantee Solano's going to get that green light. He could score from second. That could turn out to be probably the game changer here.
Yeah, that's huge. Luke Ferdinand, one of the real young hitter. This is his first action, first day up with the Hardhats. He got to play in that first game, and he had a good day in that first game. He went 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs. So you really got to like what he sees. But this is a whole new pressure situation for him.
2 outs, bottom of the 10th. Zach Solano is 180 feet away from winning this game for the Hardhats. Luke Ferdinand is the one responsible for knocking him in. For trying to knock him in, at least. Hopefully I can change that sentence to he is responsible for having knocked him in. First pitch to Ferdinand. Swung on and fouled. No balls and a strike, his starting count.
And Ferdinand knows that was an inside pitch that he tried to turn on, and he knows he missed it right there. That was a pitch to hit, and you kind of saw him grab his helmet, but you still have, it's only an 0-1 count. That was the first pitch you saw. You still have plenty of time to try and get a base hit here.
Trujillo steps off the rubber, so Ferdinand's going to take some time to calm down and gather his thoughts as well. Solano takes his lead off a second. Andrew, the shortstop, thought about covering, now he doesn't. Trujillo steps off the rubber because Solano was threatening a move from second to third, so we still have yet to see pitch number 2 to Ferdinand. Solano's 180 feet away from ending this ball game in 10 innings. Ferdinand, possibly the one responsible for knocking him in, should he get a base hit. Trujillo checks Solano. Here's the 0-1. Low and away. Ball does not get away from Fleming behind the plate. 1-1 now the count to Ferdinand. You said earlier, Teddy, there are so many high-pressure moments that this is where you determine what kind of a baseball player you are. And for how young Luke Ferdinand is, this first day as a full hard hat, this is a moment where you really test his mettle. 1-1 low and inside, 2 balls and a strike now the count.
Absolutely, and he's doing well with it. He's coming up in the situation. He's standing in the box with a lot of confidence, which you can see just in the way he's standing there that he feels like he deserves to be here, and he's playing like he does. So right now, there's no doubt in his mind he's going to get a hit, and whether that happens or not is yet to be determined.
2-1 is swung on and hit right back to Trujillo on the mound. Toss to first is in time. And we will play 11 innings. Absolutely unbelievable. The Hardhats, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left in scoring position. And at the end of 10, we are still playing baseball. Top of the 11th inning coming up, folks. We'll be right back in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and stream live on the internet at post22live.com.
Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's, it's no crime to feel like you didn't just eat. You had breakfast. We still serve the original and the best breakfast burritos this side of heaven. Hot, bold, and full of greatness. Breakfast shouldn't be a punishment. A TJ's breakfast burrito is your reward for waking up. Taco John's. Unwrap the original.
Honda knows you expect a lot from your car.
It is 10:51 local time in Rapid City, South Dakota, here from the Anytime Auto Sales Press Box at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. We are still playing baseball. Also, the evening of Kyle McGuire in relief has ended, and now Will Moore is on the mound for the Hardhats. So the tall, young lefty gets a chance to keep this game clean defensively for the Hardhats on the mound. We'll have a stat line on Kyle McGuire in just a few moments, but what an admirable 2 innings he pitched in relief. Will Moore will face the now pitcher Lincoln Trujillo, Sean Carson the DH, and Ryan Andren the shortstop. Trujillo comes into this at-bat 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, and he was hit by a pitch the last time he was up. Didn't advance anywhere past first, though. That was back in the top of the 8th. Will Moore, the lefty, deals his first pitch, and that's a strike on a two-seamer. No balls and a strike to starting count here for Trujillo.
Kyle McGuire on the evening had 2 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit batter on 31 pitches.
Trujillo's next pitch is turned on and sent to left field, but foul and out of play. So Will Moore is ahead. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
7 pitchers now seen between these two teams after the starters went 6 innings, but we are also in the 11th. So, little give and go here as we're going on.
It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Will Moore trying to keep this pitching excellence alive. No balls, 2 strikes to Trujillo. He deals, swung on and missed, strike 3. He took a boatload of speed off of that ball. A great changeup. 1 up, 1 down. That's going to bring up Sean Carson, the DH.
Huge. That just absolutely froze Trujillo right there, and he had no chance. He thought it was coming with the fastball and was way out in front of that pitch.
Here comes Sean Carson. He is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, reached on an error, also grounded into a double play. His first pitch from Moore is high and outside for ball 1. Sean Carson, the right-handed DH. Will Moore, the left-handed youthful pitcher for this Hardhats club. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and hit to third. Kramer gets the stop, gets to his feet, throw to first in time. What a great 5-3 putout that was. 2 up, 2 down for the Hardhats defensively. That's going to bring up Ryan Andrew, the shortstop.
I think Kramer was a little surprised that he came up with that ball there. That was hit hard into the hole, and he got a good jump, a good anticipation out there on the ball, and a real strong throw. We know he has a great arm over there from third, but he really put a little extra on that one to get that second out.
Ryan Andren is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Will Moore, swung on and hit in the left center field. Underneath it is Fees and Salado, and the catch is made by Cam Fees. Are you kidding me? All the way from right field, it's an F9, and the Hardhats are going ballistic. It's a 1-2-3. Top of the 11th inning on 6 pitches. No runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 10.5 in the books. Hopefully we can say that 11 is all we need. We'll be right back, folks, with Timmy Paris, Alex Weaver, and Cam Fees due up in the bottom of the 11th. Here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio, Rapid City, and streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
we wanted to give you even more. So we gave the Civic, the best-selling car in its class, even more horsepower. More room than ever. And a stylish new exterior. Introducing the all-new Civic, the 2016 North American Car of the Year. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Where will you find Black Hills State University graduates? Everywhere, locally, nationally, and internationally.
The bottom half of the 11th inning now comes up for the Hardhats. Timmy Paris set to lead off, followed by Alex Weaver and Cam Fees. It is absolutely crazy that this game has taken this long. But what an exciting atmosphere this is, nonetheless. The tension's crazy. I don't think outside of the state championship walk-off that the Hardhats had against Yankton last year, I don't think my blood pressure's been this high for a baseball game.
Well, I think this is the longest game that we've called in our post-22 career, so it's a lot of fun and a lot of tension. It's been ups and downs all game, and it's just it's a heck of a game. And we told everyone coming in this is gonna be a heck of a series.
First pitch to Timmy Paris, catches the outside corner for strike one. Timmy Paris is 0 for 2 with a sac fly RBI, hit by a pitch and a strikeout. He's followed up by Alex Weaver and Cam Fees in that order. Lincoln Trujillo still on the mound, 0-1 to Paris, catches the outside corner again, and that's strike two. He's quickly behind 0-2.
Got to adjust as a hitter. You see the umpires calling those outside part of the plates. If it's close out there, you got to be swinging. And hitters behind in the lineup now have to be making a mental note of that when they come up to the box.
0-2 is swung on and lined to third. Stop is made, though. Throw to first is in time. A well-hit ball and even better defensive play by Brandon Todd at third. 5-3 in the book. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Alex Weaver.
Yeah, that was absolutely ripped down the line there at third base. And a nice play by Todd. You got to give him credit over there. Strong throw. It was from foul line to foul line. And that's a long throw across the infield. And, quick one out here. Now it's up to Alex Weaver to try to get that go-ahead runner on base.
First pitch to Weaver, misses low and away. That was a heck of a breaking ball there by Trujillo. That just really tapered off the table. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, he has more of a 12-6 curveball that goes more up and down than it does side to side. So got to be careful about picking that spin up out of his hand.
1-0, breaking ball catches inside, and that's going to even things at a ball and a strike from Trujillo to Weaver. Weaver on this game, 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, a walk, and a strikeout. It's followed up by Cam Fees, who's 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Next pitch to Weaver, Chuck swung on it. It was high and away. 2 balls and a strike now the count.
Nice job to lay off of that there. And when you get in extra innings, this is where your discipline has to be even better than it is during the game because you can't be chasing pitches and giving the pitcher anything for free to work ahead.
2-1 misses high and away. Fleming tried to frame that one. No dice there. 3-1 now the count. Weaver's 1 pitch away from being put on the base path that he would represent the game-winning run. We've said this 3 innings in a row now. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and hit in the air, foul. Right field side and out of play. That goes into the Cheyenne bullpen. And now the count goes full. This is the first time that Trujillo has had a full count scenario with a batter. But a big payoff pitch coming to the young Alex Weaver nonetheless.
And in the last inning, he walked Solano, who made it in a scoring position. So you got to be mindful and can't be trying to be too aggressive here at the plate, but have to keep it close.
Payoff is way inside for ball 4. So Alex Weaver's patience has paid off. The game-winning run is on first. 270 feet away from ending this game. And now here comes Cam Fees.
And Cam Fees, who he's been doing a lot this game, and he tied this game up really with a big RBI single there in the bottom of the 6th inning. So he's looking to advance this runner and try to get on himself.
First pitch to Fees, way inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Fees. He's 1 for 4 with a strikeout and that RBI single Teddy mentioned. Riley McSherry's on deck. He's 0 for 1. McSherry's now playing at second for the Hardhats. He was in relief to pitch. 1-0 to Fees. Breaking ball does not break down. Almost buzzed the tower. 2-0 the count to Fees.
Canfee has a lot to prove right here in this at bat. You want to get on base by any means necessary. You can't be too aggressive trying to get the base hit. If you get walked, that's just as good. You need base runners at this point in order to get somebody to get pushed across for that winning run.
2-0 is in there for strike one. 2 balls and a strike now, the count to Fees. He has Alex Weaver, the game-winning run, on first. 2 innings ago, probably the most clutch RBI single he's ever hit. Check down to first, not there in time from Trujillo to first. So Weaver still remains on that first bag out of 4 stations here in this diamond. Fee steps back into the box. 2 balls and a strike to count from Trujillo. And he deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Fees.
And if Fees can get solid contact with the ball, he has such a fast swing. He has a very pretty swing there, and if he can make contact with it and it can get into the alleyway for some extra bases, both these gentlemen can fly.
2-2 is up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count. This is back-to-back payoff pitch scenarios for Trujillo. He walked Alex Weaver. Now he's got Cam Fees up. 1 pitch and so many possibilities in such a high-pressure scenario here. Trujillo checks Weaver at first. Here's the payoff to Fees. Swung on and fouled, and he stays alive.
Just barely swung underneath that pitch. Got a little bit of it to stay alive. 3-2. Seeing another pitch, and now Trujillo is now up to 31 pitches in relief now in his second inning, so you don't know if he's a starter regularly or not, but you got to wonder if his stamina's getting tired.
Payoff number 2 is ball 4, and the pitch gets away from Fleming, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to advance 90 feet. So now Alex Weaver is in scoring position. Cam Fees gets a very well-earned walk. He is also on the base path. There are 2 men on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 11th. Here comes Riley McSherry, 0 for 1 so far. He had a fly out to center field last time he was up. And it looks like we're going to have a meeting at the mound for Trujillo. And we may be getting just a conversation here. I don't think anything more than that. But you are right, Teddy. I think you're onto something here because we really don't know what his status is as a pitcher on this staff. Maybe this is just a conversation to calm him down, or maybe they're saying, hey, if you let one more guy on, we're going to have to yank you.
Yeah, it's tough. There's no action in the bullpen, and the part you run into now, you had the first game where they used 2 pitchers. Now they've used 3, and you still have a game tomorrow to use. You got to wonder how many arms are still left for Cheyenne to use, so they might almost be out of options for anyone to come in relief because they have to save a few arms for tomorrow. It's interesting to see how much depth this pitching staff has. That a little foreshadowing. That'll be one of my keys for tomorrow's game is the depth of this pitching staff.
Time is called. McSherry steps out of the box, and he has yet to see his first pitch of this second at-bat of his in this game. He took over hitting and defensive duties for Matt Hegre after he came in relief in 2 innings. Only allowed 1 hit, not a single run across the board. Here's his first pitch. He showed bunt pole, got away from Fleming. Everybody advances. Riley McSherry has 2 men in scoring position, and one of them is the game-winning run 90 feet away from home to his left on third.
And 1 out, a sac fly could win this. You could win a walk-off sac fly any which way. This infield is going to be playing in, and McSherry, who hits the ball on the ground quite a bit, but with that infield on the inner part of the grass here, a routine ground ball, if it's hit in between people, could be an easy base hit here. So this is a lot of high tension.
They're actually going to intentionally walk Riley McSherry. That is going to load the bases for Justin Kramer to come up.
Well, just call Brookings. See how well it is to have Justin Kramer hitting in extra innings with walk-off opportunities. I don't understand this right here as, I guess their scouting report is different than mine, but hey, this sets it up here for Justin Kramer. Go get yours, kid. He 1 for 5 today. He can get a huge ovation here if he can pick up his second hit.
Justin Kramer is 1 hit away from triggering a storming on the field. Bases loaded, 1 out. Alex Weaver is 90 feet away from triumphantly trotting into home and ending this madness. We are in the bottom of the 11th with one out. Trujillo still on the mound. First pitch to Kramer is a strike. 0-1 the count here to Justin Kramer, who is 1 for 5 on the day. Line 5, pop 2, bunt single, fly out 8, pop 3. Across the board.
You just got to stay away from that ground ball, double play ball.
Here's the 0-1. That's low, and the ball does not get away from Fleming. He boxed it in front of him. Ball and a strike, now the count.
Ooh, this is some good baseball right here. Oh, geez, I can feel the hair standing up on the back of my neck. I can see it on everyone sitting in the grandstands too. This is getting intense.
Here's the 1-1 to Kramer. That's low for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike, now the count. Trujillo is 2 pitches away from ending this game against his club with a walk that would knock in Weaver and end the game.
And the bases are loaded thanks to 3 straight walks and Riley McSherry being intentionally walked to first.
2-1 is swung on and hit to short. Stops made. 6, 4, 3. Not in time. The Hardhats get the walk-off, and they win it 4-3.
That was huge. Kramer now with another one. That was absolutely huge. Him coming in, and he's getting dogpiled over there on first. They're about to take him down. But just hustling, that speed of Kramer to get down to first and break up that double play was absolutely huge. You can't, heck of a day for him. It goes down as not a hit there, but he's definitely the hero right now.
Absolutely incredible. Justin Kramer, the shot to shortstop. They went 6-4 for the out at second. Throw to first was wide and not in time. And the Hardhats end this calamity in the bottom of the 11th. Justin Kramer knocks in Alex Weaver, and that ends it. 4-3, the final score after 11 innings of play. 4 of free baseball. Teddy and I need to take a quick breather to gather some thoughts here because this has just been one heck of a ride tonight. We will be right back with your post-game show in just a few moments here on the official radio home of Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on ESPN Radio Rapid City, streamed live on the internet at post22live.com.
Internationally, Black Hill State University is where community leaders are inspired, where future teachers are prepared, where global connections lead to business connections, and where underground research is changing the way we understand the universe. Visit bhsu.edu and enroll now at Black Hill State University, where you can earn your degree affordably and with campuses in Spearfish and Rapid City. Stay in the beautiful Black Hills. Where does your future begin? At Black Hill State University, where anything is possible.
Maintaining healthy eyes requires regular vision exams. Dr. Paula Sorensen at Envision Optical and Eye Care strives to provide quality vision solutions and exceptional customer service. She values the opportunity to build a lifelong friendly relationship with you and your family. Envision Optical and Eye Care on West Main, across from the guard camp.
This is Mark the Freedom Poet, and I want to tell you about 2 wonderful candidates for South Dakota legislature, Sean McPherson and Craig Eriks. I've known both of them for many years, and I trust them to be faithful champions of our precious Constitution. That includes how they defend our Bill of Rights. Faith, family, and freedom are very important to these men, and they cannot be bought or pressured to vote for anything that they think is harmful to individual freedom or our precious republic. Please vote June 7th in the Republican primary for Craig Eriks and Sean McPherson.
Paid for by Eriks for SD House and McPherson for House.
At Farm Bureau, when we talk about protecting what matters most, we're not just talking about things with walls and things with wheels. We're talking about people, your family. Everything that's important to you is important to us. That's why our agents are ready to help protect your future and give you peace of mind today. Visit us online or just stop by to see how Farm Bureau agents make insurance simple.
Contact Jeff or Julie in Rapid City, South Dakota to see how they make insurance simple.
Rapid City Medical Center honors tradition. Hi, I'm Jennifer Tricano, Chief Executive Officer. Owned by physicians, we love this community because it's our home. We coach Little League, are veterans of the armed forces, and send our kids to school with yours. 14 specialties in all, we've treated your family's healthcare needs since 1948. Like Post 22 baseball, we set higher expectations for ourselves because that's what our legacy demands. Call 342-3280 for an appointment.
If you're a younger runner getting into running, you want a shoe that can do it all. You can train in, you can race in, it looks cool, has a lot of Under Armour attitude to it. That's the Bandit.
We call ourselves Bandits. That's the Under Armour way, right? It's how we design product. It's how we live our life here at Under Armour.
There's nothing more American than traveling around this great nation, enjoying the outdoors with your friends and family. Camping World is proud to have been here by your side for 50 years. With thousands of parts and accessories available, plus service at over 120 supercenters nationwide, plus an affordable RV for every budget. Camping World will proudly service you, the RV consumer, for another 50 years. Visit Camping World in Rapid City or shop campingworld.com today.
America, Taco John's has a question for you. When did it become bad to actually enjoy breakfast? You know what I mean. Look at what you're eating. A thimble of yogurt? A bowl of twigs? Protein powder, for crying out loud? At Taco John's...
Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Radio Rapid City is brought to you by SoundPro, Anytime Auto Sales, the Physical Therapy Center, courtesy Subaru, Pioneer Bank and Trust, Pawn With Us, Shields, Ponderosa Screen Printing and Embroidery, and Advanced Dental. The Post 22 Hardhats, in the most dramatic of fashions, end the calamity of 11 innings in front of us. 4 extra innings. And they take a 4-3 win in walk-off fashion. Justin Kramer with the RBI 6-4 fielder's choice. And what a heck of a finish to this ball game that was. It was quite a long one, and we thank you so much for sticking around with us for all the action today, ladies and gentlemen. This was a long day of doubleheaders. Mark Benetti and Teddy Leipold alongside you in the broadcast booth here on ESPN Radio Rapid City, 1340 AM, 105.7 FM. Also streamed live on the internet at post22live.com, coming from the Anytime Auto Sales press box. So much to talk about, but we kind of need to sleep here. We're pretty tired, I'm not going to lie. We've been here for a while, so let's start with that 6th inning. Bases clearing error. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but it's a bases clearing error, and all of a sudden the air gets completely taken out of the stadium. Camphies redeems himself, comes back with the RBI single with 2 outs that ties this game at 3, and then from there on out, it was just probably the tightest baseball we've ever seen.
Yeah, and it was good baseball. Not a single error committed by either team after that point, and good pitching. You saw some base runners here or there, and ultimately what it came down to is walks. Walks at the end of the game. You know, we see 3 straight batters walk to load the bases, and if you want to win tight games like this, you can't do that, and the Hardhats came out on top with that because the young pitching of Kyle McGuire, Wilmore, of course, he had Riley McSherry to finish the 7th and then go to the 8th, that first extra inning. But how many times are we on this broadcast just absolutely floored by this young pitch? And these kids are good, and it shows how much confidence Coach Messer has in them to go to them late in this ball game against a team like Cheyenne and trust that they can put the team in a position to win.
So let's take a look at your mindset, because obviously, you know, you and I, we're going back and forth. We're trying to keep things light as this game goes on because it's so high pressure. We're trying to stay on top of what we're doing, try and keep it loose up here. At the end of the 7th, we go to the 8th. At the end of the 8th, it's 9 to 10 to 11. What are you thinking about as we go through these extra innings?
Oh, I'm just the only thing that I can think about is don't allow any base runners. But on the flip side, get it any which way you can get on base. That's all you can think about. If a ball's coming at your head, well, you got to take one to the head tonight. That they give you a helmet for a reason. It's that intense to where you want to win this game that bad, and it was awesome. And but once again, the big thing when I saw, you know, Kyle McGuire come out, and I was kind of surprised that he went with the young guy, and then when he comes out with Will Moore again, and you know, obviously Coach Messer knows exactly what he's doing, because, you know, coming to these young guys, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried how they would perform under this pressure situation, and they absolutely shut the door and answered any critics that they had to come and just throw 3 innings with no runs or hits allowed, 4 strikeouts together. So these two definitely definitely had themselves a day on the mound.
Statistically across the board, Cheyenne Post 6 went 3 runs on 5 hits, not a single blemish in this game. However, the Hardhats 4 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. What was the turning point? And I know obviously it was Justin Kramer's walk-off, but to set up the walk-off, what was the turning point of the game?
Well, the big turning point, at least for me, it started with in the bottom of the 10th when Solano was walked and came around to second, and as with one of the leaders on the team, you kind of felt that the air and the attitude was just getting better. Of course, he didn't come across the score after that, but Timmy Paris comes out, rips a shot down the third base line, and he ends up getting out, and you're like, okay, well, what's going to happen here? Well, then the walk, Alex Weaver gets a big full count walk. He battled that entire at bat, and you're wondering, like, well, is this the inning? We got the base runner with 1 out. That was a turning point right there in the bottom of the 10th, and it started with Zach Solano and that hard fought at bat. Even though he didn't get hit in this game, his hitting streak is now over. That was one of those where everyone looks to him to be the one to get something started, and even if it's the inning before, that's still a carryover.
One more quick thought before we go to your MVP of this game. I'm sure that's another tough one given what we saw in front of us. And before we go to my stat of the day, earlier in the bottom half of the 11th, you questioned the intentional walk to Riley McSherry. Now that you actually have more time to dissect that thought process, why did you question it?
Well, I question it because it would load up the bases. You had runners on first and second, and then you have Riley McSherry, who's 0 for 1 in this game. He's not one of the better hitters on this team, and Cheyenne has to know that coming in with the scouting and the reports that they get going on. And I understand that Justin Kramer went a combined 1 for 10 today, which is tough. That's really tough to face him, but he's also hitting in the leadoff spot for a reason. He consistently bats over 300. By the end of the season, you'll see his average right around 300, if not over. And we've seen him already have a walk-off. So that's tough right there. Everyone in that situation, and any coach in that situation, any person in that situation, has different tactics that they would like to try. But it definitely was hard right there, because even if Kramer didn't get the hit or score the run, then you still have Cooper Bowman to come up with, instead of trying to get Riley McSherry out and then Justin Kramer to come up. So, it's tough. It's tough to think about. That's what the choice they made, and they have to live with it. And ultimately, I'm not saying it didn't lose them the game by any means, because Justin Kramer came in and did hit the ball. He did what he was supposed to do. But it's just one of those questionable calls that you wonder, if they're in this situation again, let's say in tomorrow's game, if they'll do the same thing.
Okay, Teddy, your MVP of the game. I think I have an idea of who it's going to be, but, I mean, you fooled me on these before. Who do you have?
Well, it's got to be Matt Vickers. Matt Vickers absolutely played his heart out. He tried so hard to get that MVP in Gillette, but, of course, with Solano with those 4 home runs, you couldn't take that away from him. But Vickers getting 3 out of the 5 hits for this post-22 team, a single, double, triple, 3 runs scored. The only run he didn't score was the tying run right there, and he had himself a heck of a day, 3 for 5 at the plate. So he definitely led the charge here and kept him in it. If it wasn't for his bat, then this game probably wouldn't have went to extra innings, and it was a toss-up. I like to go pitching quite a bit. I've noticed that trend. So there's a couple people out there surprised Cody didn't get it, but I think Vic deserved it here tonight and definitely worked his butt off for the team.
Well, I have a couple of statistics in this game to point out. First off, we've been talking about it as a subject of defensive play all day long. In both games combined, there were 6 1-3 putouts. 4 of them in this second game. That was just nuts to see. In this second game, the Hardhats pitching staff combined for 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 hit batters. And in the extra innings between both clubs, only 2 hits. In 8, 9, 10, and 11, between both clubs in extra innings, only 2 hits. Lastly, and this is another one to point out because you made a point of it earlier on how clutch they were and how it eventually helped the Hardhats tie the game. Eric Petrie came out in the last 2 at-bats that he had sacrificed Matt Vickers over. And they both directly led to Matt somehow either advancing on the base path and then eventually scoring. So you talk about the true definition of a sacrifice bunt. That was Eric Petrie. He's got to have some kind of an honorable mention there for that.
Absolutely. He definitely does. That you play small ball like this in a game you win 4-3 in 11 innings, small ball is definitely playing a factor in that. Like, you don't win this game without Eric Petrie putting down those sacrifice bunts. So, that was huge. There's so many things you can point at and so many things that go unnoticed on the stat sheet. You're looking and, he might go 0 for 1 on the stat sheet, but everyone that understands the game, watched the game, listened to the game, they know how big of a part that he played in that to get Vickers over and ultimately to get those 2 runs across the board.
Final stat line one more time for you. Cheyenne Post 6, 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors defensively. The Hardhats 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors defensively. It's a final after 11 innings, 4 of them extra and 4 of them free baseball. Hardhats take a 4-3 win and hand Cheyenne Post 6 their first 2 losses of the season, sweeping the doubleheader today. And we're not even done with this team yet. We still have one more game starting at 11:30 tomorrow morning here at Floyd Fitzgerald Stadium. Daddy, this was a blast. I don't want to stay up this late ever calling baseball again, so you go ahead and get your well-earned rest. I'm going to go to sleep because I know I'm absolutely gassed and exhausted. We will, however, see you tomorrow morning, and once again, thanks so much for all of your contribution to the broadcast booth. Special thanks to Ben from Sports Ticket. He kept us alive all 11 innings on our stream, and he's kind of tired too. We're all just going to go to sleep. It is what it is at this point. For Ben with Sports Ticket, Teddy Leipold, my broadcast partner, and everybody back at ESPN Radio Rapid City, this is Mark Benetti, the voice of the Post 22 Hardhats, saying so long, and we will see you tomorrow morning.
It's cold, could be, but I can't.